But my life is good. Really good. I get to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. and make some soup. It's the best. I love it. I get to lay in a bed by myself all of my life. It's fantastic.
You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses. You right to jail.
Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito? Oh!
Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Ready? Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
Sting is going to do. It's a video. Sting video.
What is
for credits?
I don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
We obviously didn't communicate clearly. We're here to discuss your surrender, not mine.
Tú eres tan romántico molestando con una pipa. Me preguntas si te quiero. Yo te digo que no estoy lista y no quiero comenzar. No hay nada que pensar. Yo te dejaré atrás. Mientras gano más y más. No estás en mi nivel y tú no eres obligación. No estás motivada y tú aburre mi corazón. Eres un idiota sin inteligencia y razón. Entonces déjame tranquila mientras escriba tu canción. Tú eres tan romántico molestando una vipa. Me preguntas si te quiero. Yo te digo que no estoy lista y no quiero comenzar. No hay nada que pensar. Yo te dejaré atrás. Mientras gano más y más. No estás en mi nivel y tú no eres obligación. No estás motivado. Corazón. Eres un idiota sin inteligencia y razón. Entonces déjame tranquila mientras escriba tu canción. Estoy aquí a disfrutar. Estoy aquí pero quiero gozar. Si quieres a mí pero vamos a bailar. Cintura a cintura, papi, tra, tra, tra. Bailando, gozando y me gusta tomar. Pero no quiero pendejos que no quieren respetar. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más. Estoy aquí a disfrutar. Estoy aquí pero quiero gozar. Si quieres a mí pero vamos a bailar. Cintura a cintura, papi, tra, tra, tra. Bailando, gozando y me gusta tomar. Pero no quiero pendejos que no quieren respetar. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más.
What is up, everybody? It is your boy Luis Martinez, aka at Big Chief Burrito, live with you on a Tuesday.
Yeah, double it up, baby, double it up.
Mi Gente show live and direct from San Diego, California, the Burrito Lounge, Chula Vista, San Diego. Live with my co-host Sofia Carrillo. What's going on, Sofia?
What's up, Lou? Nothing much, and also a whole lot, man. Are we getting into personal news right away?
Yeah, let's jump right into personal news. We got a cool interview coming up in a little bit, and we're going to get to that. We're going to be talking with the filmmaker from a movie called Decolonizing Dinner, which was one of the films from this past year's festival. Somebody that we met at the Latino Film Festival, and we'll be getting into a bunch of topics that I mentioned. We're going to be talking about Coachella, Baboni. We're going to be talking Hellscape Watch, a bunch of other things. But yeah, let's jump into personal news. Live and alive, but what's going on with you?
Live and alive, feeling a lot better. I have a lingering cough, but other than that, I'm back to 100%, baby. Yeah, and last Friday, the Padres had the Out at the Park game.
Yes.
So, which is the gay event. It's really great. They give us these hats, and every year is a different one. So my backdrop is looking a little different. The new hat is this one. I just want to show it off.
Ooh, that's
this
nice.
Is the and it has a little pride flag in the bottom. What's that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's a City Connect hat. So I'm collecting them like Pokemons. It's great.
Excellent to hear.
And then I'm a week away from Europe, so that's nerve-wracking. Yeah, and exciting.
Yeah, we're gonna be taking a live hiatus while Sofia traipses around Europe, and we got a bunch of episodes, so we'll still be dropping an episode every week, and we'll be dropping clips, etc. And then we'll be back to live shows sometimes in May. For me, the only thing that is really just I've been super stressed about my dog because like that's kind of like. I got my stepson, but then I also got my puppies and my young German Shepherd, who was a Craigslist Shepherd, who I took from somebody who they were going to give him away, so I kept him. But I always knew that it being a inbred breed and a Craigslist dog that he was going to have issues. But every little thing he gets a nick, he starts limping and stuff. So we're gonna probably send him down to a vet in the next couple of days to get him checked out. My poor baby. It just stresses me out at work. I've been stressed and stuff, but I've been dosing him up with some good, strong CBD to sort of keep him calm in the meantime. So my birthday's coming up. So in lieu of buying me strippers or weed, which I don't need, I'll take donations to the also medical fund. So,
I was saving a lot of ones, so I'll give you that.
We still might be able to go.
I'll make it rain on also. How about that?
Make it rain on also for example. Yes. So that's basically it. So I'm just a little stressed out. If you see me turning around, it's because I'm watching him move around and stuff and limp, my little boy. So, but other than that, still working, still grinding, working on the next projects and stuff like that. And one of the reasons that I'm working on the next project is, being a curator at the festival the last several years gives me the opportunity to watch a ton of cool movies from Latino creatives from all over the US, Mexico, Europe, etc., South America. And all that gives me really good energy and positivity about, the up and coming wave of Latino filmmakers, documentarians, etc. But it also gets me itching to get back into the directors and writers chair. So that's kind of like, I still want to help with the festival and still will help with the comedies and stuff like that. But at some point I do it's time to make the donuts again. So, hey man. Yeah. As good a host as we are, and as amazing curator that you are, it's you got to put your director hat back on. We miss you. Yeah. Filmmaker. I am primarily a filmmaker. Yeah. And I started the podcast, during the pandemic and stuff. And the podcast is going to keep going. Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So we love doing that. But yeah, we are going to try to make a movie at some point this year. So we're going to get into it. All right. And on that note, we're going to bring in our guest. This is somebody that had a film in the festival this year. He was only in town for a couple of days. We want to talk to him today specifically about the movie that he made. It's called Decolonizing Dinner. And also about the indie Latino film and documentary scene in the Midwest. I don't even know. It's like the mid-north. Yeah. So all the way from the cheesiest of states. Ooh. From Wisconsin. Wisconsin. Don't you know? The land of Fargo TV. Yep. Alex Miranda. Yeah. Welcome. He's like, what that intro? I love Wisconsin. Hello,
At 72.
Wisconsin.
Oh man.
Hello, Wisconsin.
I don't know if it was that I had a really long day or it's the birch water that I drank, but man, I was like trying to hold in all my laughter because that was awesome.
Sofia didn't. I made so many changes to the intro this week, but every time I would look over, Sofia was like right here on her phone posting. So
I was
like,
posting. I'm sorry, but I
You
did
didn't even
catch
see.
the Office one. I did see Michael Scott in there. I was like,
you got
"He's
Michael
new."
Scott? Did you see Baboni in there?
I didn't. No,
Oh, you
fuck,
didn't
I
see.
missed
We got
Baboni.
Baboni and Zendaya in there. We got
I
the
saw
little-
Zendaya, Michael Scott. That was an amazing. That was that was
Yeah.
incredible intro.
It gets increasingly more chaotic every episode. It's great.
That was amazing. But Bill, what's his name? O'Reilly. What's
Bill O'Reilly is
that was
the
crazy.
yeah. Bill O'Reilly's
Favorite.
always gonna be there. But yeah, hey, thanks for joining us, Alex Alejandro, all the way from Wisconsin, man.
Yeah.
Let's jump right into it, man. Decolonizing Dinner. It's a short documentary, a couple of subjects. Where did that? And it's basically a small doc, a short doc about the history of both Mexican food as well as indigenous food, shown through some cooks and some sort of stories. I found it really interesting, really easy to watch. I didn't feel like I was being lectured or anything like that. It struck a good tone. How has the reception been to the film at the festivals and stuff? And where did that come from?
Thanks for watching. Yeah, the Decolonizing Dinner has been received really well across the country. So San Diego Latino Film Festival was our 6th festival for the season, and we're wrapping it up in San Luis Obispo next week. So I'm getting ready to fly out there on Saturday to go show it at the San Luis Obispo Festival. And I think they're planning to do some kind of collaboration with Edible Magazine, from San Luis Obispo Edible Magazine edition. But yeah, it just did really well. Gotten to some really good festivals, from Oxford to Nalif, New York. The New York Latino Film Festival, to San Diego. It's all the way to the Pacific Coast. So yeah, we were across the Atlantic, all over, heading back to.
I'm assuming it got into the Wisconsin Latino Film Festival. Right?
Is that a thing? That can't be a thing. Is
that a thing? It should be a thing, right?
It should be, but it can't be. Come on, is it? Alex is probably one of the 10 Latinos over there.
Oh man!
Wow!
It's like, yeah, it's happening right here in my house right now.
I'm brown. You could never tell when I turn red, but right now I'm like turning red. I'm turning red. That was a good one. I like that one. Yes,
which is a good segue
into the 2024 Wisconsin Latino Film Festival.
Hell yeah, let's make it happen.
Let's jump into that because We Leaf, Wisconsin International Latino. But let's jump into that because obviously that's got to be something that that influences you as a filmmaker. How did you end up in Wisconsin, and is there a growing sort of Latino community, or is it just a Mexican community mostly?
That's a great question. We're everywhere, right? We're all over the U.S.
Yeah.
No matter where we're there. I would say a lot of the Latino population is probably biggest in Milwaukee. I live 90 miles away from Milwaukee, but I live in Madison.
Okay.
And Madison's a very
college town.
College town, yeah. There you go. So there's a lot of diversity in the student population, but they always leave, go back to their countries and stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's probably in Madison, probably more Mexican. But I do know there's a small Puerto Rican population, some Colombians,
Okay.
So it's been cool. There's Guatemalans, Hondurans, yeah.
Nice.
So we got everything here. We got everything.
And
it's not like San Diego,
No, obviously, no, nothing's like San Diego. But and obviously, like when you're talking about the decolonization of like Mexican and Latino and indigenous food, did some of that idea come from you seeing how maybe Mexican cuisine or Latin cuisine gets bastardized over there or in different places? Did any of that sort of make you sort of want to sort of pursue this topic?
Yeah, that's a real good question, Luis. I can't take credit for that. Actually, what happened was Centro Hispano in my county here in Madison. So they're an organization that helps the Latino community and in various ways, from immigrants to just Latinos who are looking for resources or help or want to get involved or connect with the community. They're like a hub. And so Centro Hispano has every year this special event, beautiful event called Evening of Dreaming. And that year, 2022, last year, they wanted to include some more about the indigenous history of our shared Latino culture. And so they invited two chefs to speak. One, Mexica, a Mexica chef, that was Tony Gallarday, and he has a awesome restaurant in Milwaukee called Tavo's Signature Cuisine. And then they invited a Ho Chunk chef. Her name's Elena Terry, and so Ho Chunk is those are the indigenous of Wisconsin, right? Like time immemorial, they were here. Who knows? They don't even know how long they've been here. So it was really cool to see like the native history from the migration of coming from Mexico into like the Midwest, but then also hearing from the native of the Midwest region. And what both of them were doing was, and this was part of my job, was to really try to understand their story. And this is the story that emerged, which was for Tony, a lot of the Mexican food has been colonized, and so he was trying to trace the native roots of his favorite foods to its true history, not the European hybrid version that we all know today, but going back to the original Mexica ways of cooking. And then for Elena, she's been doing both traditional and contemporary native cuisines. And so she's been just she's like a walking, I'm trying to think what the word is. She's a knowledge bearer of Native history and learning about all the ways that Native communities traded. And so, like, it's not we operated beyond borders. Like, we didn't have borders. There may have been like territories, like like hunting territories or like hunting, kind of like guidelines, but there wasn't really a border. There was a lot of trading going on. And you find today archaeologists and like historically, they find native objects that would come from Central America or Mexico. They find them all the way up here in Arizona and in far north. And so it's just kind of an interesting history that we just don't know very much about, unfortunately, today. And so both of these chefs, Tony and Elena, are really trying to bring that story back to
so
the
you
public.
run into them there, and then that's kind of where the genesis is, or how did that
how did it come about?
Can you explain? I'm sorry, I don't think I understand.
No. So they have this event and they bring these chefs out, but how does that lead to the documentary getting made? Would you just start talking and then
So, Sorry, I didn't understand the question. Originally, what we did was create a live event, kind of like what we're doing today. So we had like a live event version of Decolonizing Dinner.
Okay.
But I saw another story that I really wanted to tell, which was more focused on their stories. And so I ended up kind of re-editing a version for film. If that makes sense. So in the original piece, there was like a host in it that was kind of in line with the script for the live event. But this one, the one that you saw and what I submitted and is doing really well, that one is the new edited version, that's more of a film.
You got those interviews from a like a Zoom interview, or did you recreate them?
No. I filmed them. They just created like slots in the live event to show their
Okay.
stories.
Gotcha.
But I was like, man, I really want to tell this story like a little bit more like a film.
It felt like if we're talking in food terms, like a little appetizer, like a little palate.
Yeah, it was a teaser of it.
A
Yeah,
little teaser, because there's
That's right.
definitely a lot more there. Was
That's
this
right.
like a one-time thing for you, or do you want to sort of expand this and make this
Yes.
into like a series or like a feature doc? What's your plans with that?
Yeah, exactly. I did see it as a proof of concept, kind of like a teaser pilot episode. I could definitely see a docu-series of this. And I am working with Elena currently. We're developing a larger story that tells a deeper history of traditional native cuisines.
yeah,
Because there is actually a movement happening right now in the U.S. where traditional native cuisines, contemporary native cuisines, are actually being used as a way to heal from our trauma. So I think that's a powerful story. So
yeah.
I'm working with Elena Terry to do that. We're getting ready, and that's gonna be epic.
Yeah, I can see that totally becoming like a series or something. I think it's so important, like the story that is being told, because I love how you just mentioned something about kind of dealing with our traumas, because I think as a people who were colonized, it is very hard to know that there were so many ingredients and such a rich cuisine in all of Latino America that was, sort of taken and then used in different ways. And as much as I love Italian food, it's just, the tomato comes from Latino America. So it's one of those things where we have such a rich cuisine, and yet the most
Isn't there?
Michelin star, yeah,
Yeah.
whereas like the
We're
most
not
Michelin
counted
star
like
restaurants are in Europe, they're
exactly.
not. So I do love this movement of kind of like, using kind of retaking, I
Yeah.
guess, our own cuisine.
Yeah, like why aren't our cuisine at that caliber, which it should be?
Exactly. It should be.
Yeah.
Exactly. Have you always been a foodie? Are you like are you a cuisine I don't know, like are you a
Well,
good
I heard you're
where
going to
does the
Europe,
passion come from for
so
you?
I mean, I don't, I heard you're going to Europe, so you're gonna
Uh,
be enjoying some good cuisines over there. But yeah, I've traveled a lot. I'm a world traveler. I love learning about different cultures, and I think one of the best ways that I get to learn about people is through food. And that's really
mhm.
what I'm doing with film, is like I'm really trying to create a table for people to come together, get to know each other, build relationships. I'm trying to document that with film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a big foodie, and
Same.
Tony was sharing some interesting stories of like menudo, for example, right? You think of menudo. So the menudo that we have today is like it's a European version of a native recipe.
I didn't
And
know that.
when they were first, the conquistadors were taking over, they were trying to find examples of our savagery to try to like promote, like they're the civilized ones, we need them to help us, right, and all that stuff. So what they said is that we were cooking soups that were made with human remains, and those were like, that's what they were
Yeah, that
saying.
was a propaganda spread. Yeah.
But it wasn't. What happened was the meal was actually vegan.
What? The original meal is vegan?
Original menudo was vegan,
I
and it
didn't
was
know that.
the conquistadors who added pork.
What?
So they
That's
added the
wild.
pig, they added all the meat, and
Mhm.
then they twisted it just a little bit to make it sound like, we're what is it, cannibals, right?
Yeah.
And we're out of control, and we need to be conquered, and we don't deserve the land. So
Yeah.
this is what Tony was sharing with me of an example of decolonizing a meal, which was just menudo, which is it's a dish we all enjoy. And I don't want to bash the classic menudo that we have right now, but there is a version that is native, and it's vegan.
Yeah, wow. No, and there is also like, I mean, there's history to everything, right? So the fact that you literally just decolonized menudo, this
Yeah.
should be a show. This should be something that you continue and have many, many episodes. Is Tony was is he the guy in the film, the chef?
Yeah, so Tony is
Okay.
he's the Mexica chef, yeah.
The Mexica chef.
And you know, it's a beautiful story for both of them because from Tony, I resonate more with Tony because I'm native as well, but I'm like Tony. I need to like go through three different conquests to try to reconnect with my native roots.
Yeah.
The French, the Spanish, and the Americans.
Oof.
You know? And so Tony was in that similar boat, you know, and he's learning about his ancestry as a father, as a grown-up, an older person, you know. And I think it's so important that he was able to discover that and reconnect. And I'm so grateful that I've been able to reconnect as well. But you know, like Elena, she grew up in it.
Yeah,
it's a different story. She has a different background in that. She knows the language. She's been more connected. I'm trying to learn the language, and I'm doing it like on my own. You know, she had more support with her family, right? And so like it's just it's interesting, right? We're coming from different histories, but it's all moving towards a good direction, you know, the right direction.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to note, like, I love Elena when she mentioned the three sisters about corn, squash, and beans. And I was like, wow, I never thought about how many plates can be made from just very, you know, those three ingredients. Yeah.
Three sisters. And I know just like for Elena, that's not even a whole chunk, like, practice. That's straight up, you know, Central America, Mexico, you know, that's the origin stories right there for us. That we invented corn, you know. That's incredible.
Yep. I love it.
No, yeah, I had a question about the locations. So are both of these chefs were based in Wisconsin, and the histories is about the native land there?
That's correct. Yeah, both chefs are in Wisconsin. Tony's in Milwaukee. Elena is in the Dells, the Wisconsin Dells.
With all the lakes and stuff, you don't typically imagine that in like when you think about Wisconsin.
Yeah, so Wisconsin has more lakes than Minnesota, and if there's any people from Minnesota, they might get angry. But
they don't have the Great Lakes, but they have many lakes, right?
No, we have Great Lakes. Yeah, we have Great Lakes. Yeah. Oh, do they have a Great Lake? I think they do.
Possibly. I don't know. Pulls out a map.
No, I don't know.
All right, guys, we are live talking with Alex Miranda, talking about his film Decolonizing Dinner, which was a short film that's getting great review. Hopefully we'll be able to keep up with him talking about his film as it goes to other film festivals. Look for it at the Wisconsin Latino International Film Festival in 2024. And you can keep up with them by going to his website, which is We Are Brave Birds.
Echo.
We Are Brave Birds.
Echo. Blue Echo. Blue Echo. Echo. Blue Echo. Echo. Blue Echo. Blue Echo. Echo. Blue Echo. 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 Blue Echo. Echo. Flicker, what?
All right, better. I'll remove that. We are bravebird.com. What is talk about?
Wait, hold on. We need to acknowledge that just happened.
What happened? I couldn't hear it. What was
you didn't hear it, Lou? It was like we dropped our own hip hop album. Like it repeated on a loop. It was insane to hear.
That was amazing. I've never seen anything like that.
No, I think all right. Something must have happened when I shared the audio. Okay, but I'll watch it on the VOD. But talk to us a little bit about Brave Bird. Where did that come from? What is that? What significance does that hold for you?
He's still stuck on the song. It was very impactful.
I saw someone wrote
That's how...
Brave Bird. Yeah, Brave Bird, man. Woo. Yeah, I'm trying to.
All right, I'm gonna try it again. I think it was because I was sharing my sound. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Don't do it again.
Don't do it again.
I'm not gonna share. I'm not gonna share my audio.
I think it's still reverberating in my mind.
Okay, there we go.
No, so Brave Bird, yeah, that's my production company.
Ooh,
It's the name Brave Bird is from my ancestors, from the Huicholes. The eagle, the symbol of the eagle. It's just a very sacred image, and from that history, there's this idea that the bird, the thunderbird or the eagle, it helps direct the sun. It brings healing. It helps bring awareness. And so I thought as a filmmaker it was really fitting because I'm trying to bring healing through stories. I'm trying to bring awareness to each other, to the land, to our spaces through film. So,
Absolutely. I love the name, man.
That's Brave Bird.
Can we get some merch over here? What's going on?
Yeah,
Can I get
hell yeah. They're holding out on us.
And then obviously, in terms of like, you know, obviously because you have the passion, you have the background to make these types of projects, but where did the passion for choosing filmmaking as your art for which to make these statements come from? Did that come at a early age where you wanted to make movies? Was it something that you were like, well, I want to tell these stories, what's the best medium? Oh, film, or were you influenced early in your desire to be a filmmaker?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, a little bit like you, Luis, you know, when I was young, I grew up around films. So really spent a lot of time watching movies with my parents and I remember when I was a little kid, I like cut out a little Oscar from the newspaper.
Nice.
And
Aw.
put a little like popsicle stick behind it. And when the Oscars came on, like when they had like the best picture, I would come up and be like, oh, I got best director or best picture, you know, stuff. So I was already doing that as a little kid. And my father gave me a camcorder when I was maybe like, I don't know, let me play with a camcorder when I was like 6 or 5, something like that. And so I would make these little films with my neighbors. And they were always like ninja films or like
nice,
you know, stuff like that the kids would do. So I've been doing it for a while, and then when I was 8, I got into acting, and I was a professional actor for 15 years, and so I got to witness some really amazing directors. Got to work with Steven Spielberg. You know, got to work with amazing actors. Producers, writers.
Which one was Spielberg on? What movie were you in?
Yeah, this is like blackmail now for me. Like I was in a film called The Lost World.
Ooh.
What?
And I was a little kid. I was a
You're
little.
Velociraptor number 3. What's going
I
on?
was 11 years old. I think 11 or 12. 11 going on 12.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
And I got to be in The Lost World. It was really fun. I had a great time.
Were you in LA or how did you get into acting? How did you make that occur?
I was, yeah. So I was born in LA.
Okay.
And I was an actor. I started when I was 8 and I was in it for 15 years. But this is the kicker. For 15 years, I was cast typed. And that's the beginning of me getting into directing.
Yeah, because we got to make our own roles if we gotta, you know, if we want something good.
Is this it?
That's me. Yeah.
Stop. That's amazing. I love this.
Oh man!
I'm sorry.
Holy shit, we got an A-list celebrity over here.
I'm good. I'm good at the internet, guys. I'm sorry.
That is amazing.
How'd you do that?
That fast. See, I didn't even want to say it. I didn't want to say it. I knew it. I knew it when you did that whole natural organic remix. I was like, oh man, he's gonna get
Walker,
that.
Texas Ranger. Look at you.
Yeah, I got to work with some really cool people. Chuck Norris and Jeff Goldblum. And
what? That's awesome.
That was a lot of fun. I loved acting, by the way. But when I was a young kid, I kind of felt like this is weird. I'm always the gang member.
Yeah.
And so those are the beginnings of like, oh man, I want to tell different stories. And so I went to film school, and then I came to Wisconsin as a creative director for an advertising agency. And I started directing commercials, started concepting a lot of like advertising pieces. And that's what really kickstarted my directing. But like I don't know, if you guys probably do commercial work too, it's not very fulfilling. And so I really wanted to tell deeper stories. So that's what made me get into these like more deep, provocative, visceral filmmaking.
Okay, look at you. That's so you took your experience as an actor. I mean, what better way to learn than being on set with Spielberg, right?
Yeah, no, it's true that I was in it for a while. So I didn't have a normal childhood. I was on sets, traveling, filming, and then I went to film school as well, and studied at the American Society of Cinematographers. So I do a lot of my own filming. I love to tell stories. I love film. It's my thing. But I think one thing to note though is I really believe that if we can see it, we can be it. And so if all we see for 100 years is Latinos or Native communities always being the drunk or the gang member or the criminal, that's it, we end up reflecting it, and I think there's a lot more to our stories. So that's what I'm hoping to do with Brave Bird. I'm trying to tell stories that are authentic and stories that depict our dignity.
I love that. I love the purpose and mission statement of Brave Bird. I'm excited to see what comes next. What, as far as Decolonizing Dinner, I know you want to continue with that. What else are you looking to do in the future?
Oh man, I got some really cool projects coming up. I'm
really
super excited. I'm really digging into. I'm going deep into Native. Like I'm going Native. I'm going all Native.
Yes. Somebody has to. There's not enough people telling stories, Native stories.
This is what I'm really. I feel like a lot of my life has been leading to this moment. I've been trying to piece together this puzzle in my life for a long time, and I've been meeting the right people along the way. The spirits know, the holy ones know when you're trying to reconnect, and they put you on the right paths. So it just happens naturally, So I think the creator is navigating my life, and so I'm really leaning into telling Native stories.
What do you feel about I want to ask you how you feel about two specifically sort of Native themed stories. The first is Reservation Dogs on Hulu. How do you feel about that?
Awesome.
Incredible show, am I right?
Oh, amazing. I loved it. My wife and I, we watched it all like in a week, and we were like crying.
I mean, it's such a beautiful show, but it's also very real. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but it is a good representation of Native culture, I think.
It's beautiful. I loved it. Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
And then how do you feel? You haven't seen Reservation? I gave you a fucking
I
Hulu
haven't.
login.
I know. I said on Hulu. I wrote it down on my to watch list. It's on here now.
It's Hulu login. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Not good.
Because I didn't have Hulu.
Hold on a second.
I needed to watch something.
Change password, log off on all devices.
No, Lou, don't do it. I'll watch it.
It's worth it.
All right. And then something else how did you feel about
Rutherford Falls, which is mostly I think it's mostly white writers, but it's one of my it's one of my favorite writers. It's one of the creators from The Office.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
It's hilarious. Rutherford Falls. Rutherford.
Okay.
Rutherford. It's like RUTH.
Rutherford. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's like Madison. So if you watch it, that's Madison.
That's Madison.
And then how did you feel about something like Apocalypto?
Mel Gibson.
I mean, yeah, chase movie, but it's very sort of bastardizing.
I want to say these are like little victories,
Yeah.
Like when he did it, they weren't doing it, like no one was making those stories. No,
right.
It took a white man to do it with very famous white man, which is fine. But he really gravitated to the story. He executed it amazingly. There was a lot of victories in that film. I think it's one of the first digital films, like when they were kind of moving away from film into digital. It's one of those early ones. The production design was extraordinary, and they were very, very intentional about trying to represent that native empire. I think it was Mayan. I think they were trying to emulate the Mayan. I can't remember if it was Mayan or Aztec, but I know they were trying to emulate it as much as they could. So there was a lot of victories, and it also showed that people liked it. Like, they liked the story, and I think that's a victory because it could help open doors for us to tell them more. I guess today, with everything that we've been seeing and what we've gone through, and we're kind of maturing. I'm maturing as a filmmaker. I wish that there were more native filmmakers making films like that. I think it would be different. I think it would have a different rhythm, a different tone, different meaning.
One of the things I like the most about Reservation Dogs is that they went out of their way to make sure that the directors were all, native, writers, etc.
Yeah.
Now we bonded over our love of fitted hats at the festival.
Oh yeah,
as we met. But we have a segment that is usually called "Should I Buy This?" But it's actually going to change it today to "Should you buy this?"
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so should you buy this? So the next question is: should Alex buy this hat?
Let's see.
This one. This one is called.
This
is where I get all my fitted hats. This is the Clink Room. And they have some pretty cool one, but I just saw this one right here that's got like a native theme.
I love it.
Whoa!
And it's called Blessings, and it's
does it glow in the dark?
And then and I think it
glows in the dark.
What? Whoa! He should buy it.
Put that in the chat. My wife is gonna hate me that I'm gonna buy this.
Just put it on your Christmas.
She said last time, "Do we really need another hat?"
Yeah, no, I have so many of these, but no, I mean, I'm not native, so I wouldn't buy this, but I just saw this and I was like, man, this would be a dope hat. This is a dope ass hat.
You should buy it.
You should definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna put the link in.
Clink.
But I mean, if your wife wants to send me a size 7 3/4, I'm not gonna say no.
Clink Room should start sponsoring Me Gente Show. I'm just saying, we talk about them a lot.
That's true. We gotta
the one I'm looking at is either this lion one that's pretty cool, or this bear picnic one is awesome.
Oh, that one's awesome.
I like this one here. This mech, because it's got the different the Mecha Panther.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Just get all these tattooed.
No, I mean,
they're really cool designs, actually.
Yeah, they're cool designs.
I love it.
Yeah, this one too. This one also could be. This one could be you.
Wow. These are fitted, huh? Fitted.
Yeah, these are fitted. What size hat you wear?
Oh! That's totally me.
Yeah.
That's like one of my spirit birds, man. The hummingbird. That bird visits me all over the world.
Okay, then he should buy this.
Like, when I see the hummingbird, I'm always like, I know the holy ones are here with me.
I put it in the chat. I'm also supposed to send you the link in the private chat. So
hold on.
Put you up on that.
This must be like Huichol or I wonder.
I will let you know though that the thing about the Clink Room is, and like for example, I got this hat from them, and I got this other one. This is another one that I got from them.
Nice.
The grass dancer one. So I love their concepts, and I also got this one from them, the shark.
Wow.
So the only thing is that they do one-off designs, and then once they get enough orders, they go to production. So it does take you a few months to get your hats, just FYI.
Amazing.
But once you do, nobody else has it but you, basically. And I'm pretty sure nobody in Wisconsin is gonna. Huh?
Is that only one of those?
No. I'm saying like they do the designs, they pick the best ones, they do pre-order, and then like 6 months later you get your hat. So
I love it.
So if anybody ever wants to buy me a present for my birthday that's coming up, it's a size 7 3/4 or size 7
you're
7
6 months too late. Your birthday's on Tuesday.
Wait, what's your size? What's your size?
I depending on how I have my hair, mine is like 7 3/4 or 7 7/8. I used to be a size 8, but I guess my head's gotten a little smaller. But I can't wear anything below a 7 3/4. Okay, hey, I'm losing weight. That goes in my head as well. Hey,
Yay.
Sorry, we got a little distracted here because we started talking about hats.
Yeah,
which is a shared passion of myself and Alex here. All right, guys, we're live with Alex Miranda all the way from the cheesiest state of all, Wisconsin, and his company, Brave Bird, his movie Decolonizing Dinner. Very important topic. Hopefully, we're gonna get to see. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch. Go ahead and leave a like, share the stream, let everybody know you're watching. Leave us a comment if you would like to just say hello. And we'll get to you. If anybody has any questions about, I'm not even gonna read the comment.
I'm gonna show it. I'm doing it. Smell it, huh? Yeah, right.
Listen, man. Alex said that's a good question like 6 times, and my hat almost exploded.
Yeah, it was. He said it so many times. I was like, "Stop it!"
I'm almost gonna say, see, every time. That's why I have 7 3/4 to size 8, because every time somebody says that's a great question, Lou, my head gets boom, 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 boom. Yeah. My head gets a little bit bigger.
It was a good question. I had to think about it, but it was tricky.
Okay, so you were an actor. You've been in major motion pictures, and you go to film school. You decide to end up in Wisconsin. What is it about the state? What is it about the area? Is it the space? Is it almost sticking out and not being like anybody else? What is it that keeps you there after you sort of move there for work or whatever purposes? What is it that kept you there?
Was it love?
Was it love?
I wish it was that.
It must have been love.
I met my wife in LA.
Oh, well. Okay. How'd you convince her? Damn.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your cousin, Dominic? Is Dominic your cousin?
No, it's not. I believe that's my cousin. Dominic Lerma?
The Lermiest?
Dominic. I do have a cousin named Dominic.
Is his last name Lerma?
Is he in San Diego?
He lives on Lerma Street?
It might be.
It might be.
I do have a cousin named Dominic who grew up in San Diego.
Bro, that's him.
I don't know. Like, Lerma. Dominic Lerma. I don't know.
Does he have curly hair?
It's totally him.
My God, you're part of the family.
Oh my God, you're part of the Lerma. The Lerma is and everybody, Dominic is having anybody in San Diego. Dominic has a comedy show on April 22nd at Chiva Hut. So if you're in San Diego and you want to go see Dominic make funny stuff happen on stage.
I didn't even know he's an actor now.
Come support his cousin.
My cousin.
He's been in most of my movies actually.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was.
Are you serious?
We co-started a movie. Flapworthy, yeah.
Wait, are you crazy? Oh my gosh.
Uncle Mondo. Oh my God.
It's so good. I can't see you, but it's so good to read your text.
It's so good to catch up.
That's my cousin for sure. We grew up together.
Oh, okay, look at you. Yeah. All right. Damn, look, it's a family reunion. We didn't even know this when we set this up.
That's amazing that he's been in your films. That just brought me a lot of joy.
Yeah. Dominic has been in probably about 7 to 10 of my movies. Yeah.
Oh,
including two of them that were at the San Diego Latino Film Festival.
Okay, so Dominic, I gotta get your info, man.
Yeah.
I gotta get your contact info.
Yeah, Dominic
I need to chat it. To him.
The family reunion. Wow. I mean,
you got his info.
Yeah. We'll get you guys set up. Don't worry. Yeah. Trust me.
I love you, brother. I love you.
Oh.
All right. Look at that. It's a family
reunion. Beautiful. Wow. This is a beautiful episode.
Hey, look at this. Dominic stopping by the stream. What's up, Dominic?
That's awesome, man.
All right. If we could refocus now after our hat conversation and our family reunion here. All right. There we go. Back to center.
This is amazing.
So you meet your wife in LA and then you decide to stay in Wisconsin. Let's take it from there.
That's where we were. Yes.
Yeah. I get hired as a creative director. I get pulled out there and basically what happened is I met this amazing woman. I wanted to marry her and I didn't have a job at the time. And so I was like, let's go. And so I started applying to all these jobs, and one of them was in Wisconsin as the CD. And so I took it, and then I proposed to my wife, my then girlfriend. And then I was like, okay. And then I moved like in a day. I left right away.
I want to marry you, but it's in Wisconsin.
But
I did. Yeah, that was the big test. Will she come? She did. So she came out here, and we've been married. We're gonna celebrate our 10th wedding anniversary. And super exciting. We just had twin boys. So it's been a big thing.
What a wholesome episode. I love this.
Yeah, the Twindians.
Yeah. Congrats on 10 years of marriage.
Look,
Nice.
the good thing is you got married, you got kids. The bad news is now you're gonna have to put Dominic in one of your movies. So
yeah.
Oh, that's great news, man. Yeah, I love you, man. I love you, Dominic.
Good luck with that.
I can't believe it. That's amazing.
I know we've all had to do that. It happens.
We've all we've all been
just,
there, man.
I'm just messing with the
Just messing with you,
learners.
Dom.
The learners. All right. Well, basically, you know, the blah, blah, blah. Sorry. I know you had some questions for us, Alex, and sometimes we allow the guest to sort of take over and be the interviewer once we get our questions out of the way. So the floor is yours. What would you like to talk about? I know we sent you some links to some of our stuff, and you had a couple of questions, so you can ask myself or Sofia anything you'd like.
Yeah, well, I noticed that Luis is a director. So, and the films that are on your website are pretty interesting. I wonder, so like, is The Bicycle Thief kind of an homage?
Yeah, The Bicycle Thief, which Dominic was in.
That's your cousin, by the way.
That's Dominic in there. The Bicycle Thief was a sort of a combination of an homage to the Bike Thief, as well as to The Thin Red Line.
What? Terrence Malick?
Yeah, to The Thin Red Line. I just love the idea of poetry in movies. And I love the idea of visuals set to poems, and I love movies that take their time, and The Thin Red Line is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yes. Okay, that's another thing we share.
Yeah, so
Terrence Malick.
Yeah, so I sat through that 3-hour plus movie twice as well in a theater, and
I love it.
I love it. I mean, I almost like, and it didn't get a lot of love because it came out at the same time that Saving Private Ryan did.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so the Bike Thief was, and it's also based on a true story because my
Kinda
father.
Like Kundun. Do you remember Kundun?
Yeah, like Kundun as well.
Kundun came out at the same time as 7 Years in Tibet.
And then there was the two Prefontaine movies that came out at the same time as well. The two running movies. No, and then like I said, it was based on a true story. My father, when we lived in New York in the 80s, used to buy my bicycles from a crackhead who would go to the park and pretend to be, slow to get kids to trust him, and then he would steal their bikes. So it was based on a true story that my dad used to tell me, and then we built the story around this drug addict that's sort of like on his last, he's not at rock bottom, but he's sort of heading towards rock bottom. And Dominic was actually the perfect person, even though he couldn't speak Spanish, to play that part. And then we got Jose Yenke from Traffic and from a bunch of other big movies to do the voiceover. And then it's screened at the San Diego Latino Film Festival. During COVID, they had a special event where they had movies on at the drive-in. So we got to watch that one at a drive-in theater. So yeah,
dude, that's awesome. So, okay, Terrence Malick, Bike Thief, homage, true story. What are some other filmmakers that influence your work?
For myself, I think that Terrence Malick. I grew up with a lot of I don't know. I mean, Tarantino's an obvious one. Scorsese's an obvious one. I guess Terrence Malick and I really like Michael Mann. Michael Mann. He obviously I grew up with a lot of classics that I watched over and over. But if I went to like smaller filmmakers like Mike Figgis, Terrence Malick, filmmakers that like to sort of let the movies breathe and stuff, take their time. So those are some of my favorite movies, and some of like my biggest influences.
Amazing. And what about you, Sofia? Because are you a filmmaker as well? I mean, I thought there was a film that you did.
Yeah. I'm an actress first and foremost. I think the other positions that I've done in filmmaking, I've been a PA a few times, and then I was a second AD for a music video one time. So that was when I realized that I would be an awesome AD, and I might want to pursue that as well. But acting comes first always.
Wow, I heard that people that the ADs that's a tough one. That's a lot of
It's so
stress.
hard, but and
Stress.
it's high stress, but it's so freaking fulfilling. And like, what I noticed is one of the main reasons why I really enjoyed it is because I'm a control freak, and the AD is controlling everything that is happening, and they are the person that knows what is happening
I
all
see.
all over set.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
were so many secrets that we kept from the director because we didn't want to stress her out. There were secrets that we kept from like all departments. If there was a fire, it was like Sofia and then the first AD. We were putting it out and keeping the peace, and it was just so
Oh my
exciting. It was
God.
like I really loved it. And then I'm working on a script right now that I started writing because I wanted to have roles for myself. So I saw myself as the leading part. But now I'm starting to think that I might want to direct it. I think I'm a little too close to it. I think it's my baby, and I want to. I think I'm gonna cast other people in it, and I might want to direct
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I got one more question. This one's for Louise. Top 5 films you would recommend me to watch.
Oof.
I never ask what's your favorite movie just because like I feel like that's a little unfair. There's so
Yeah,
many good films.
that is a better question than favorite movie.
Top 5 films that I would recommend you watch if you haven't watched already.
No, just doesn't matter if I've watched them or not.
Even if he has, just recommend 5 films.
Recommend 5 films.
Okay, if I had to recommend 5 films, clip this, Sophia.
Okay.
Right.
Damn it, I don't have my pen. Continue.
All right, 5 films to recommend. All right. Recently, okay, one of my favorite art films, if you like Terrence Malick, if you like that, would be Basquiat, which is about the painter, the painter Jean-Michel Basquiat.
I'm writing it down.
So it's I think 1998. Jeffrey Wright, Gary Oldman. There's a shit ton of really. David Bowie plays.
Love David Bowie.
David Bowie plays the painter. He plays the pop artist from Pittsburgh. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about, with the hair and the pictures and the Campbell soup cans.
Yeah. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Andy Warhol. He plays Andy Warhol. David Bowie plays Andy Warhol, but it's a movie about Jean-Michel Basquiat, the painter. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Very recently, that's made my list. Do you like Japanese films?
Don't worry. You just tell me. Don't worry.
Yeah. 13 Assassins. 13 Assassins.
13 Assassins. I have it. Yeah.
13 Assassins is pretty much this is for everybody. If you haven't watched 13 Assassins, everybody knows Miike, the Takashi Miike, who does a lot of crazy ass movies, but this is like, I think, chef's kiss. The third act of the movie is one long samurai battle, and it's an incredible film. I would go with that one. If I had to go 3 more off the top of my head that have been sort of in my mind recently, let me see. I don't know. Monty Python, Search for the Holy Grail is a classic. Let's go old school. So, that's probably where a lot of my comedic stuff comes from. That I've seen. Let me see. I went old school.
How many are we down right now?
We're down to 3. We got 3, so we're gonna do 2 more.
Two more.
The original Creed is recently. I just watched Creed 3 and I liked it, but I had to go back to Creed. The first Creed is so great,
really
so good.
I remember, I was like, this is nice. Yeah.
And then we're gonna go with another movie that I highly recommend recently is Come Hell or High Water.
Oh,
which is kind of like a Western bank robbery stuff. Yeah, obviously the basics: Heat, The Godfather 1 and 2. If you haven't seen those, obviously anything like that is there. But recently in my mind, Basquiat I always recommend. 13 Assassins I always recommend, and then the rest are just kind of like part of like my top 15, 20 that are there.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, man.
Noise.
All right, we're hanging out live with Alex Miranda. You can catch his film Decolonizing Dinner at different festivals, and hopefully we'll be able to watch it soon. We'll share it if he ever does make it public for people after his festival run. And you can keep up with him at Brave Bird Productions. And he'll soon be rocking one of those hats that we dropped in the chat there earlier.
Sorry to his wife. Sorry.
And apparently he's he's cousins with Dominic, who's in on our movie, so it connects us
first cousins.
It definitely connects us.
So-
You're good to hang around for a little bit, Alex. We're gonna jump into some other stuff, or what's your time frame?
Yeah, I'll hang out for a little bit.
All right,
I
excellent.
think one of the twins might wake up soon, anyways.
Oh,
Well, we're
he's a
hanging out.
busy parent, man.
He's got the twins.
Yeah.
Now Dominic's gonna be crashing on your couch when he goes up to Wisconsin for a comedy show. So we're gonna get that going for him. All right, guys. Well, let's jump right into it. It's time for what is it time for, Sophia? Hellscape Watch?
Hellscape Watch.
As the world burns around us, we are here.
I meditated. Okay, let's do it. What's going on in the world?
No, let's jump into some writing news. The Writers Guild of America has authorized a strike. So I don't know how familiar you are with what's going on, but basically, the WGA has voted 97.85% for a strike. This doesn't mean that there specifically will be a strike, but they've authorized it. So basically, obviously, back in the day, if you were a writer on a TV show like Friends, and that show got picked up for syndication, and it was always in syndication because some network or another was always going to be buying it and repurposing it. Every time that would air, you would get money. So if you were a writer on a hit TV show for several seasons, you would get residuals over and over and over. With the advent of streaming, basically what happened is, let's say a company like Netflix, let's say you were on a show like you wrote for a movie like, what was the one with Sandra Bullock, the Bird movie, the Birdhouse?
Oh yeah, Bird Box.
Bird Box, right? And then if Netflix was the studio that made that movie, if they sold it for syndication, then you would get money, blah, blah, blah. But what's happening is that, for example, Netflix doesn't have to sell that to anybody. You know, when HBO does a show, they don't have to sell it or repartition it. They just put it on their own streaming software. And so what that meant is there was no residuals, which means writers are starting to, within the last 5 to 10 years, only get upfront payments for being on the shows and being a writer on the show.
Wow.
So a lot of writers, even writers on hit TV shows, sometimes have to make, they might make 40, 50 grand for being part of a writer's room, but they have to make that last for 2 to 3 years until their next gig.
Whoa.
Because they're not getting the residuals that they used to. And it's getting harder and harder to break into the industry as a writer because of these things. So basically, the Writers Guild of America is voted in favor. 97.85 voted yes.
Wow.
Which means that as they go to the negotiating tables with the studios, they want higher base pay. They want more residuals for the new sort of streaming landscape. And actually, the Writers Guild of America sued Netflix because the writers of Bird Box were not getting any residuals, even though it was one of the highest rated movies or the movies most watched. And they got like $40 million or like several $1 million in residuals because the Writers Guild of America, sort of advocated for them. So this is an incredible number that, and it was a big trending topic on Twitter. A lot of artists, a lot of writers were sort of posting why they were going to vote yes. The last time there was a writer's strike was, I think it was 2008, 2009. Yep. And that really fucked up. That cost the industry like $2 billion. That's the reason like a show like Breaking Bad only had 6 episodes in its first season because the writer's strike. There's a lot of shows that affected. So just keep an eye out for that if you're part of the guild or thinking about, obviously, unions make us stronger. So any thoughts on that, Sophia?
Love unions, and they got to pay the writers. That's messed up. Right. That's it. As simple as that.
Who's the 2.15%?
Yeah, who would vote
right?
No? Does that mean, was that like two people? It was like
it was 2 guys. They were like, "No,
we're okay.
Yeah, we're all right." All right, we're gonna try to mix it up. All right, this was something that we talked about earlier today. Not that talked about earlier today, but that I mentioned earlier today. So essentially, what happened is, Gen Z took a swipe at Zoomers.
They're the same people. What do you mean?
Well, no,
Gen Z?
Gen Z, not Gen Z.
Gen
Gen
Z
X.
is Zoomers. Oh, Gen X.
Yeah.
Cool.
So basically, somebody took a swipe at Zendaya, because they basically were saying that any Zoomer who thinks the right pick is above average attractive doesn't understand that in the 90s, a 7 looked like the left pick. Above average meant something else back then. There'd be like 10 girls as or more beautiful than Jennifer Connelly working at every chain restaurant. Basically, they were trying to say that Zendaya was sort of mid and that Jennifer Connelly was a 7 in the 90s. Jennifer Connelly was never a 70 in the 90s. Jennifer Connelly was a straight up smoke show in the 90s.
Yeah.
And Zendaya doesn't play a lot of she's more glamorous on the red carpet. She takes a lot of parts
Also,
that don't make her very
like full beautiful like makeup and hair done, and then the one on the right. This is like, come on.
This is very like look Zendaya brings it,
Yeah, brings it. Like that.
So
you're saying Gen X because they were the ones that wrote this? Who wrote this?
Well, I don't know, but they were talking about because she's 50. She's sort of my generation's it girl in a certain time, and Jennifer Connelly is very beautiful.
Yeah,
and so
they're both beautiful. It's like, why is this even? Why are we arguing about this? Like, who wrote this? Let's trash that person. Say their name.
Yeah.
Sorry, fuck that person.
Fuck Son Optimus for starting that. Yeah, you picked like the worst picture in history of her.
You're spinning it. Come on, bro.
Yeah. So the question remains, Alex, in her prime, Jennifer Connelly or Zendaya?
All I know is that Zendaya has a movie, was it Dune, where like what 30 or 40 minutes of that movie is her in slow motion.
Really?
I mean, of course Zendaya is beautiful. They wouldn't like put her in slow-mo if she wasn't, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. That was a really weird post.
Weird post, man. Both are beautiful. I don't know. Listen, apples and oranges. Why are we comparing?
Yeah, I don't know what that was weird.
Yeah.
An optimist is not very optimistic.
No.
All
Get
right.
a hobby.
Diving right into the hellscape that is Tennessee. So, little by little, they're trying to introduce laws at state level that'll just fuck everything up for everybody. A Tennessee bill that allows students to report professors who teach divisive concepts passes the House and Senate. The list of divisive concepts bars discussion on biases, white privilege, and racism's role in slavery.
What?
So Tennessee, because Missouri wants to ban libraries. Florida is banning drag shows or dressing in drag. Tennessee is like, hold my beer. And they basically are making a law that says if you're on a college campus, you can report. They're turning us into like they hate communism, but a big part of like fascism and communism was reporting that your neighbors were not being communist enough, right? Yeah. That was the thing. You had to profess that you would love the blah 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 the state, and you also had to snitch on people. This is what happens in North Korea. If there's people that aren't into the state enough, you can report them. So now in Tennessee, they want to introduce a bill that says if you are teaching divisive concepts and talking about the role of racism in slavery, they can report you to the state.
Wow,
that is wild. Listen,
that seems like that's unconstitutional.
Yeah, it is unconstitutional. How is that? Did that pass?
It passed the state and the Congress. So now I don't know who.
Isn't there like freedom of speech and stuff?
And then also, like, you can't, like, biases and whatever they call divisive, all of the stuff that was on that list is actual viable, like, concepts. It's something, like, you can't suppress education. Well, I mean, I guess they can in Tennessee.
And also,
but,
like,
fuck, that's fascist as hell.
That is really sad.
That's so
Listen,
sad.
it's freedom for me, not for thee when it comes to speech. There's a list of 17 different divisive topics, such as whether one race or sex is inherently superior or inferior to another race. It also bans teaching an individual by virtue of individuals' race or sex is inherently privileged, racist, sexism, oppressive, whether consciously or unconsciously. So this is all them going against what they perceive as woke, or what they perceive as that day's, shit that they're mad at,
Wow.
So
they didn't have a trans
annoying.
person to yell at that day, so they're like, let's pass a law.
Yeah, they didn't have Bud Light to
They didn't
shoot.
have
Bud Light cans to shoot. They ran out. It sucks.
That's crazy. Wow, that's messed up.
It's fine. It's all fine.
This is fine. This is fine.
This is fine.
This is Hellscape Watch. Speaking of Bud Light.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bud Light, let's change to this one here. I think this gives a little bit more. All right. Donald Trump Jr. says the boycott of Bud. So this is funny because I always love when Republicans and Democrats switch sides on a topic.
Yeah.
And the hypocrisy of both sides. So there was these awkward pictures of Democrats holding up Bud Lights in Congress. There was these, because they're like, yeah, Bud Light standing up for trans rights, blah blah blah, progressive. And then basically Bud Light backtracks so fast. They put out a non-statement, which is like, we didn't mean to be in a controversy. They didn't really say anything in their statement. They were just like, we believe in American. And then they dropped another horsey commercial with the America. Bud Light is American.
We've always loved our troops and stuff like that.
We love our troops.
It's like, tell me the easiest way to make both sides of the aisle mad, and it's by doing that.
Nice.
Like now no one's on their side.
And the Republicans that were super, and here's the thing, man. Companies are not inherently woke. They're not.
They want money.
They want your money. They don't care. They only do these things because they think they have to. And they have marketing people and interns that are like, we should do this,
You know why Padres does the gay themed event? It's to sell these. And it works because I want these.
Yeah, it's because they want to appear. I mean, yes, the CEOs and the owners and the management of big corporations in some cases do believe in these causes, but what they believe in the most is profits for shareholders.
Gay people got money, I'm just saying.
Gay people got money. Bud Light wants gay people's money.
They want all the people's money.
And so they gave I'm sorry, what was the person's name?
Mulvaney, I think.
Mulvaney, yeah, Dylan Mulvaney. A little 30-second, 90-second TikTok ad or something where they're drinking a Bud Light. And they freak the fuck out. The Democrats all of a sudden jump on the Bud Light train. Every Republican and MAGA idiot starts shooting Bud Lights. They do steamrollers, roll over Bud Lights.
Which are both such performative takes. Like, just chill, you guys.
Just the side that's like, oh, cancel culture immediately goes full on cancel culture because they do one trans fucking ad.
They're such snowflakes. It's like they've become what they used to make fun of. You know how like it used to be fun to make fun of like the woke, like super feminists, like whatever the SJWs, the social justice warriors. And I'm like, you guys are worse. Like you're the snowflake. You became what you hated. Like
100%.
Yeah.
So looking deeper into this, obviously, what they figured out was that 60 to 80% of the contributions that Bud Light, that Anheuser-Busch, that the employees of Anheuser-Busch make politically go to guess who?
Trump.
Republicans. Right?
Yes.
Anheuser-Busch is one of the biggest supporters of Republicans. So once they realized that their cancel culture was actually working, Donald Trump Jr. has to come and be like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know what? Even though they did a trans ad, they apologized. They're back with America. We need to stop. Doing this. 60% to Republicans, 40% to Democrats. So 60% of Anheuser-Busch employees and their PAC give money. So it's mostly a Republican
60-40. Okay. Better than Chick-fil-A, but still.
So Bud Light, realizing from whence their bread was buttered, decided to backtrack the fuck out of there. Say, we love America more than we love the trans movement. Please stop running over our beer. And so now the Democrats who were awkwardly holding Bud Light bottles,
looking like idiots, are going to go back to, right? I mean, who doesn't look like it? Everyone looks like an idiot. Like if you had an actual serious emotional take to any of this story, like you got problems. Just chill. Okay. Trans people exist. Beer exists. If you like it, buy it. If you don't. Like, it's shut up. Snowflakes. Gosh.
Do you remember that Pepsi ad?
Yeah.
It's from it was like a movement or something like that.
Well, that one was fucking hilarious because was that Kendall Jenner and like
Yeah,
Yes.
solve racism.
Yes.
and she solved racism with
Yes,
the Pepsi.
Yeah. She gives a Pepsi to the police officer.
And it's like, wow, we did it. We
We
solved
fixed
racism.
it! Yay! No more riots.
That was funny.
And everyone's like social
Yeah.
justice signs were like Pepsi.
Yeah.
Here's the picture of
That was a personal favorite.
Republican Representative Ted Lieu, of him, Mark Takano, Judy Chu, and Adam Schiff posing with the cheap, low alcohol beers in the Capitol. Hey, look at us, Bud Light.
First of all, you're supposed to be working. Why are you drinking?
Fucking
Go give me health care. How about that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, can we get some health?
Can we get health care? I'm gonna
That's
say
a
that
good
every
one.
episode.
What's up with this serious
Yeah.
picture of you, Alex? You don't seem like such a serious guy. What's going on over here?
You know, I thought about that. I was like, oh, I should have given you a more playful photo.
Mhm.
I was like, oh man, that one's really serious.
You know, I know, and like you opened the podcast by like cracking up, like a total
I
anticipation.
was trying to hold it in.
Yeah, I love it.
Cracking up. All
Right.
right. Let's see. Moving right along. Let's see what we have here. Excuse me. Okay, so here was the let me just finish this. Here was the Anheuser-Busch letter. As the CEO of a company founded in America's heartland more than 165 years ago, I am responsible for ensuring that every consumer feels proud of the beer we brew. We're honored to be part of the fabric of this country. Anheuser-Busch employs more than 18,000 people. Our independent distributors employ 47,000 valued colleagues. We have thousands of partners, millions of fans, and proud history supporting our communities, military, first responders, sports fans, and hardworking
Oh, there
Americans
we come
everywhere.
again.
America.
Divides, the dividing thing, the Tennessee.
We never intended to be part of a discussion that divides people. We are in the business of bringing people together over a beer. Okay. They haven't really said anything yet. My time serving this country taught me the importance of accountability and the values upon which America was founded. Blah, blah, blah. Hard work, respect for one another. As CEO of Anheuser-Busch, I am focused on building and protecting our remarkable history and heritage. I care deeply about this country, company, our brands, and our partners. I spent much of my time traveling across America, learning from our customers. Moving forward, I will continue to work tirelessly to bring great beers to consumers across our nation.
Well, it's just very like pro-America, you know.
Yeah.
We love our first responders and cops and everything, and so it's very like, come on, guys, military, we're on your side.
They didn't say shit. That was literally like a non-statement.
Because they wanna be on like teetering the fence, which is fine. It's capitalism, you guys. They just want to sell beer to everyone.
It's just
there's a lot of keywords in there, you know.
Yeah, they're hinting. They know what they're doing. They're backtracking the whole trans thing. They're basically saying we're not on anyone's side, but we love our nation. Wink, wink. America, first responders for our nation.
And I bet if you try to apply, they probably say they're very diverse.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
the woke version would be saying diversity matters and blah blah blah. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move right along. Okay. All right. So do you have more Hellscape in you?
Oh no, how bad is it? Maybe one more.
Okay, then we'll move on to some funny stuff. Or should we do a funny one first?
No, let's close it off and then
all right. The Hellscape, right? Checking in on how horrible it is that that we have guns in this country. So two incidents this week. One of them was a woman fatally shot in upstate New York by a homeowner. Her and her friends were on their way to a party. They didn't have cell service. They pulled into this person's driveway. Homeowner comes out with a shotgun, doesn't leave their porch, fires 2 shots at their car. Whoa. One of the women in the car gets hit by a bullet and killed. Also, this last week, a couple of days ago, a kid, Ralph Carl, goes to pick up his siblings and knocks on somebody's door. Like a 84-year-old dude comes to the door, shoots him in the head, then shoots him when he's on the ground.
Oh my God.
And basically says, "Don't come around here." As the kid reads for his life. Now the kid is a musician. He's a black kid. He's recovering in the hospital. Thankfully, the woman in upstate New York, not so lucky. She was killed in the attack. Both of these homeowners are basically exerting sort of these stand your ground laws, where you're basically saying, or castle domain, where if you're in your house and somebody. But
that's also usually for like intruders. Like if someone is knocking on your door, let's say it's a UPS guy, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? What?
So so I mean, if we can't have sensible gun laws, and we're supposed to have listen, as I always say this, I am a responsible gun owner. I am pro guns for protecting yourself and your family. Thankfully never had to use one. You know what I mean? But when the ops pull up, you got to be. I'm just kidding. But it's also like, man, if somebody's coming to rob you or to kill you, they're not going to knock on your door, right? So if somebody knocks, rings, hey, and the first thing you do is shoot, or if somebody pulls into your driveway,
maybe they want to make a U-turn.
Exactly. People get lost. People need to make U-turns. Like, I don't know. I think it's like the American culture wants it to be the Wild West so much. Like they just wish they were in gunslinger times. Like remember from 13 Assassins, like when he's like, do you think this is what it was like in like the warring times? Like I think people have this mentality where they romanticize this Wild West, and they just have this idea of everybody walking around with their guns, and you step on my porch and like what is it going to take? Like obviously 30 kids getting killed in a school isn't going to wake people up. Like mass shootings every other day, like where we don't even get to finish thinking about or talking about. We're not even finished sending thoughts and prayers about one shooting, where we have to like pivot to the other
another
shooting.
one.
So what's it going to take for people to like stop?
Oh no. You know what? I don't think I'm coming back from Europe, y'all. This Hellscape got me. I just maybe I'll just elope with someone over there. It's fine.
The only good thing is that thankfully, because of social media and pressure like this, originally the first guy who shot the kid on his porch was not arrested. He was released, but he got arrested now and got charged. And the other person got charged as well. So, I mean, and thankfully the kid survived.
Okay. So these are still being, that's good. That gives me a little hope that they're at least being, talked about and maybe taken to court and stuff like that.
It's like racism and hatred has not gone away, but
we just added panic into it.
I mean, it's like, I felt like I was reading something about crime has gone way up after COVID, and like everyone was so pent up, and then finally when everyone was allowed to go back out again, it was like all this.
Yeah, it also messed with a lot of people's mental health. So I feel like a lot of people are just like unhinged, and then it's like, all right, you can go out now. We all bought guns, got depression, and now are like getting out in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. Don't be
sad.
That
was Hellscape. It's fine.
All of this is fine.
This is fine.
That's fine. All right. I want to give a shout out to one of the organizations here in San Diego that followed us during the festival. They're called assistanceforvets.org. You can go to assistanceforvets.org, and they are committed to helping veterans. They deliver food each month to veterans in the San Diego area. They also in San Diego, California, they do events and support assistance for veterans. They do a lot of cool stuff here in the community. And we got to meet them and follow them at the festival. They've been listening to and watching our show. They're doing a write-up about our show as well. So we wanted to just share the love and share their page. So if you want to be a part of their projects, if you want to support them in any single way, I'm going to put the link in the chat. We'll put it in the description as well. Assistanceforvets.org. We also like to give shout outs and point out good organizations that are doing good in the community wherever we can. So shout out to them.
Yeah. Shout out.
Shout out Assistance for Vets.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get to some lighter fare. Let me see. Actually, a question for you, Alex. What is your favorite revenge movie?
Oh.
Sofia, right back at you as well. What is your favorite revenge movie? John Wick, Taken, Audition. This is something that I'm saving for Rosa, but there's a lot of cool revenge movies. Darkman's I Spit on Your Grave is a classic.
Taken's a really good one.
9 to 5, The Count of Monte Cristo. Ooh, that was a good one.
I like that one.
The Princess Bride. Also.
Yes, Princess Bride is a great one. Holy shit! Oh man,
Mandy is an awesome movie. Oh, if I could add another movie to the must-watch top 5, Hobo with a Shotgun.
Hobo with a Shotgun.
Yeah, watch Hobo with a Shotgun.
Nice.
It's a Canadian movie. Mandy just reminded me. Hobo with the Shotgun was like my previously favorite movie to do hard drugs to, and then Mandy came along. So
wonder what it's about.
It's about 90 minutes. I know. It's about a hobo with a shotgun.
It's in the name. It's in the name.
It's Rutger Hauer. It's a Canadian movie. It's basically about this homeless guy. It's about this homeless guy and about this like ultra violent world, and about this guy called the Drake that runs the city. And it's really just like a supreme B horror violent movie. It's really good. A little bit of the old ultra violence.
Right.
I think Gone Girl's pretty good. That one's crazy.
Gone Girl, Carrie, obviously, Taken, Death Wish.
Oh man, those are all amazing.
Gladiator, another revenge movie.
Gladiator, yes.
Unforgiven, Cape Fear, obviously, revenge movie.
Fear.
John Wick.
Oh my goodness.
The Crow. Ooh. Memento. What do you think number 1's going to be?
Oh, Memento.
Kill Bill. Is it?
Old Boy.
Old Boy. Ah.
The original Korean version. Do not, Sophia, whatever you do not watch the Spike. Old Boy is a fucking classic. If you haven't watched Old Boy, you must watch Old Boy. Make sure you watch the original one. Do not watch the Spike Lee remake.
Oh, why not? Do tell.
Because it should have never been remade.
Okay.
It should have never ever been remade.
Old Boy original.
Yeah. I've been on a Japanese and Korean movie kick recently. I rewatched the Battle Royale movies as well.
So good. I did think of that, but I'm like, I don't think that's considered a revenge movie, right?
Yeah. So, Alex, what's your favorite revenge movie?
Man, I kind of like Gladiator.
Gladiator's a good one. Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Joaquin Phoenix, he's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Out of all the ones you named, I think Taken is my favorite.
It's
just so good. It's just the whole thing. So one that popped up, it's not necessarily a revenge movie, but have you seen The Cabin in the Woods?
Yes.
Okay. The minute that it turns into a revenge movie, fuck, it's so good. Oh, so good. Sorry, no spoilers. You need to watch it. I don't want to spoil it to anybody.
All right. As we're knocking out here the rest of our tabs, we'll be with you guys in a second. Thank you for everybody that's stopping by. Alex Miranda joining us all the way from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Hello, Wisconsin.
What's the time difference, by the way?
2 hours, right?
It's 2 hours, yeah.
Over there, it's like 10 p.m. 10:30.
10:35. Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Thank you for staying up with us.
What's the temperature like in Wisconsin these days?
It was 50, low 50s, but it felt so nice.
Yeah.
It was like it felt like 70s.
Okay.
How long is the summer?
Just a few months.
Oh no. Do you ever miss California?
All the time.
Okay.
Shout out to my mom and dad if they're watching. Love them.
Not this year. It's been raining so much though.
The weather. You wanted it. You were waiting for it. You were wondering where the second part of it was going to come up. But you don't have to worry anymore. The second set of Trump collectible cards is out.
What? I thought Hellscape was over. Wait, that's a thing. Collectible cards.
Yeah, Trump is doing like an NFT sort of grift scam where you can buy crazy cards and designs that people like. Look, him dressed as George Washington. You can have him as a chess piece, him on a motorcycle with a bicycle, him as a green beret or something, him as the King of Hearts. I like that one. Gotta love that one. Doing the heart sign, the King of Hearts with the heart sign. You gotta love that.
Oh my gosh.
And look, this one's Elvis Trump with the American flag, Elvis
Oh my
rocking out.
God. Nice.
Yeah. And the first time he All American Trump with the hot dogs, right? And
Yeah.
the black dog, obviously.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
Look at the quality of these. Look at
That's
the
not.
Look at
It's
this.
literally
Like,
like it's literally like second grade using Canva. Like
this is like a lead. No, I'm gonna say it's like a 6th grader using Photoshop. But like,
Photoshop.
yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, 8th grader. But look at it with the fiery lion. That how does this even make sense? He's in the
Okay.
background. The lion's on fire. The lion's on top of the earth, but they're in the clouds.
Wait, can you? I sent you something to your Instagram DMs.
Mhm.
Related, sort of related, loosely related, but it's basically this new page on Instagram that I found that is similar to this, but way cooler in the sense that it takes Republican politicians and turns them into drag queens using AI.
Oh yes, I did. I did have that. I had.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you have to open it up at some point. It's
I have that. I have that here. Yeah.
beautiful.
Yes.
This is AI used for the positive. This is amazing. Alex is dying. The Mike Pence one is my favorite.
Mike Pence is like the prince. Yeah, Mike
Yeah,
Pence.
yeah, right there.
Mike
Slay Queen. Yes.
Yeah, I like the
She's fierce.
like this one. Yeah. Oh, this is great. Yeah, I like this one though. This is the best.
Oh, so good. Yes, Shantae, you stay. Oh my God.
Yeah. Obviously.
Zilla.
I love it. I love it.
So,
that made my week for sure.
As much as we talk shit
They're
about,
like so good. I mean, I bet
so
even they
good.
like it.
Love it. Yeah.
They're like, okay, I gotta
like,
give
all
it to them. Gotta give it to them.
Drag queen shows are legal now.
all right.
Divisive.
How you doing? Do you have to go at any time soon? Are you still hanging in, or are you?
I probably should head out soon.
Okay.
Because I gotta take care of these little boys.
No, we're always cognizant. That's why we have a couple more things that me and Sofia will cover, but I did want to at least take the time to thank you, Alex, for being a part of the show today.
Yes. Thank you for coming on and giving us your time.
Dominic already texted me for me to give you his info, so I will forward that along to you so that you guys can connect, obviously.
Nice.
Small
world.
Thank you for hanging out with us. You're invited anytime you have something to promote, or if you just want to come hang out, just let us know. We can have you pop on whenever.
Nice.
But just make sure that everybody follows you. Where can they follow you on Instagram, or where can people get in touch with you?
At Alex Miranda Cruz. My Instagram.
On the IG?
On the IG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter.
No, that's right. Or
like,
the Brave Bird, right? Or
we are Brave Bird.
We are Brave Bird.
Is our handle.
Right.
But yeah, I thank you so much. I had so much fun. It was good to laugh. That photo was too serious.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you made me laugh real hard. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you for
It was fun meeting you in San Diego.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Come
Look
through.
forward to talking to you soon, man. Or like you said, we're out here, we're filmmakers, we're actors, so you need us. This is also a way for us to connect with other people. So you let us know if you need anything.
Awesome. We have to keep in touch, and
absolutely, man.
Yeah, my email. So
yeah, for sure.
Take care,
brother.
guys.
Thanks for stopping by.
Bye.
All right, there goes Alex.
Loved him. His picture really was serious, but his personality is so giggly. I loved it.
Yeah, they didn't match. But when I was like, "Hey, what's the picture you want to use?" And he's
not gonna lie though, that picture is badass. Like it's
a
cool.
good picture. It's a cool picture.
Pick.
All right, Sofia. All right, let's finish this. Let's finish up strong here.
Okay. Also, you misspelled Coachella. I forgot to tell you.
Did I?
Yeah, it's 2 L's.
They'll be all right. All right. So let's file this one under "Don't do this."
Okay.
Influencer at Auschwitz faces backlash for
no,
posing in front of
bro. When did this happen? Stop. I'm literally gonna be there in a few weeks.
Today I had one of the most harrowing experiences of my life. Regrettably, I didn't seem everyone there found it to be so poignant. So don't do this.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Guys, No, a concentration camp, not the place where you want to take pics.
Not even like it's the railroad that carried the people to the
Yeah.
concentration camp.
Don't sit on it. Why? Is this? I want to punch this girl.
Who's? I mean, like you want to punch the girl, but can we just? What is this like? Do you not have a backbone? I mean, I understand being an Instagram influencer's husband or significant other is a pain in the ass because they're always asking you to take pictures of them and take the picture again and stuff like that. But I mean, how vapid do you have to be not to even be like,
maybe you should not this one, babe. Maybe not this one.
And why would you? And if you are that vapid, why do you even go to Auschwitz?
Exactly. It's a place where you go to study history and learn about the deepest, darkest pits of humanity, and like
it's the gravity of the situation of the location is what's supposed to sort of get you, and all of a sudden you're like,
did they find who this girl was? Because if I'm gonna hate anyone, it'd be this person.
Yeah, no, this is a horrible thing.
It's terrible.
But what kind of pictures are yeah, I don't even want to see like the real pictures of Auschwitz, but like what kind of a horrible person do you have to be to do something like this? It just doesn't make sense.
I don't
just
know.
Don't do that.
Just don't do that. No.
Don't
when I went to Sachsenhausen, I just, I do like to, if I see something like that gets me or like looks interesting, I will take a picture and upload it to my story of the thing, of the monument or of the sign. But
selfies, not really the move.
Happy selfies of like, look at me at Auschwitz. No.
And even like
harrowing journalist pictures.
Yeah, and even like a solemn selfie is kind of like a bad look, right? Like even if you were like,
yeah, that gives me like those TikToks that we had talked about, yeah,
like
it's like
sad face.
My patient died today.
Just better yet, like don't take pictures. Just go
and experience it
and be a human.
Sometimes you don't need to be on your phone. What? Yeah. It's wild.
All right. Here's an influencer that says, "Here's why a lot of us fake going to Coachella." Can you hear that?
Nope.
All right, hold on. Never mind.
Filter's interesting.
That's an interesting filter, right?
Kind of like it, yeah. It looks like an anime of some sort.
So basically, they explained that there's a phenomenon in a TikTok video that's saying that a lot of people, Coachella is like the influencer Olympics, and they feel like they have to be there, but a lot of them just go out to the desert, get their makeup on, put on 3 different outfits, and take pictures out in the desert, and then post that on different days, and they don't even go.
Oh. That's
let me reshare it so that I can share the audio. Even
that's a little sad, but you know what? Coachella is very expensive. If you are a budding influencer or an influencer and you just have to stay relevant, why not? There are worse things in the world, I guess.
All right, I'm gonna mute myself so I can play this. Give me a second.
Okay.
Let me know if it also does the voice thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute myself so I can play this. Give me a second. Let me know if it also does
Coachella's like the influencer Olympics.
Let me know if it also does the
voice thing happens.
Sorry, I don't know. I have to figure out what it's in.
I was typing in the chat. I didn't know how to tell you. I was like, can you hear me?
No, I can still hear you. Okay. Well, basically, they say that's a phenomenon where people who don't have wristbands, they just drive their little butts out to the desert to make Instagram photos, and then they get their TikToks or whatever, and then they just come back home.
My thing is like, there are certain Coachella pictures that you need to take, I guess, right? Like there's that little fucking phallic fucking monument thing, that little building with lights that says, "Hey, I'm at Coachella." So if you're just taking pictures of the desert, I feel like people would know, right? I don't know. That just seems very sad to me. It's sad that we've gotten to that point. And as someone who's considering moving to LA, I do worry that I'm going to be surrounded by these vapid people. And it's scary. That's sad, right? What do you think? Would you ever do something like that to get a picture?
I don't know. I guess I can understand where you're coming from when you're like, I don't I don't want to spend the money. I'd rather just drive out, take a picture, and then come home, right?
Yeah, because to be fair, it is a career, and if you are getting paid and you just need the picture and you just want to go home, like, hey man, I sure, you know.
Yeah, I can understand that part of it, but it's also like super weird that you're like that, you know?
It's the faking part. So I think if you are a paid influencer who just needs like a paycheck and you're doing it for the money, for some reason I find that more respectable than if you are just someone who's trying to make it and you're going just actually to like fake like you're at this event and you're like going out of your way to do all these fake posts. It gives me the same vibe as like people who pay to get the private jet picture, but like they never take it's just like a rental where like you walk in, you take a picture and you get out. It's like a set almost. I think Bow Wow got caught doing that and everyone just dogged him for it.
Yeah,
We made fun of him forever. And it's like, because it's lame. At the end of the day, it's lame. You're being fake and it's sad. It's for validation, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's kind of sad that you need validation from the internet that badly.
And I had one other video that I wanted to play, but it is I'm not sure it's gonna play, so I'm just gonna save it for next week.
Mm-hmm.
It's fellas, is it racist to be against race mixing? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Short answer, yes.
There's this girl that is I want to talk, maybe we'll talk about it next week, this phenomenon of this female-led anti-feminism sort of podcast.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's deep dive next week though, because
Yeah. So
seems interesting.
I'm gonna save this, and for some reason my sound setup is fucking my shit up today. All right, and then also, I also wanted to play this one, but okay, this is a Zoom call from a CEO who canceled all employee bonuses, but took a $4 million bonus.
Oh
or
yeah,
so.
I saw that.
Yeah, we'll save that one for next week.
Come on the earth. Yeah.
All right, Netflix, after an incredible run, is ending the DVD market. So after 25 years, we've decided to wind down DVD.com. To everyone who ever added a DVD to their queue or waited by the mailbox for a red envelope to arrive, thank you.
Oh, okay.
So I remember this from the early aughts, the early 2000s, where it was, how good was your queue and how fast could you turn around and mail your DVDs back so you can get them, and people, I love that back in the day, that was the pre-Netflix. This is sort of what started the downfall of Blockbuster, because you could just get the DVDs in the mail. Then came Redbox, and then came streaming services. So Sophia, will you miss DVDs? Will you miss physical media?
Yes, absolutely. Yes and no. In the sense that like I don't like bulk. I just don't like a mess. But so physical stuff I do sometimes prefer to keep it not physical. But as someone who has moved a lot, and there are times where you go without cable or like whatever, like all I have is a TV and a DVD player. I do have I regardless, I still have like a solid like DVD collection because you gotta have it. Like what happens if all I don't know, if all streaming services just like, I don't know, freaking go wild one day and, you can't access anything. And then, I don't know.
This is what this is
DVDs
kind of
are
like
great.
What I'm scared of is precisely that is right. Like for the longest time, because I used to move around a lot, right? So sometimes you go to a new place, you don't have cable, right? So that's why when I had cable, because I was
or even Wi-Fi,
yeah, and this was pre-Wi-Fi. When I didn't have cable, you have to watch like The Simpsons and Seinfeld and Friends and all these shows that were on syndication, right? You'd have to, like, if you wanted something to watch at 11 o'clock at night, you'd be like, I guess I'm watching MASH reruns or Friends reruns or whatever that Channel 5, 11, whatever have you. Sometimes I would watch The Simpsons in Spanish because that's all we had because we didn't have cable. You know what I mean? So my rule was anytime I had cable, because I knew I wasn't always going to have it, I would never watch a show that was on free TV so that I would have something to watch when I didn't have cable.
Yeah, of course.
And so now that we have streaming, and cable is kind of a thing of the past. It's weird because you're like, oh, I don't need to have Creed because it's on Netflix, or I don't need to have for example, like I was like, I don't need to have a collection of Aqua Teen Hunger Force videos because it's on HBO Max.
Right.
But then HBO Max is like, oh, we're getting rid of all these cartoons and all these things. And then you're
exactly.
Like, well,
You're
fuck.
Like,
what
I have Harry Potter. I'm like, I have to.
Yeah. And I happen to be good at the internet, so I can download a lot of stuff, and I have a huge collection of movies and stuff that I've downloaded, and I also have a huge DVD and physical media collection.
Nice.
Because all these things are based on the internet working. Mm-hmm. The same. So the internet, the same reason some people are scared of having only electric vehicles. Well, what if the electrical grid goes down? The electrical grid goes down, then your fucking electric vehicles are fucked because you can't recharge them. Fuel is a lot more, you can sort of find fuel or blah, 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 blah. So it's almost like the future is so awesome because like I often sit here and I'm watching a game on YouTube TV. Like even while we were streaming, I had a game on the TV, and I could be watching another game that I found in the stream form on one screen, and then I'll be watching a movie on Hulu or something on another screen. And I literally love the future. I love the future because I just feel like that scene in Back to the Future where he sits down and he's like, put on channels 84, blah, blah, blah. I love that feeling. I love that. But it's also a very narrow thread that we walk on because the internet goes down, one satellite goes out, and we could be fucked. So
yeah,
I think that man, at some level we have to preserve. It's almost like we're moving too fast for our own good,
Yeah. But DVDs are still going to get made, right?
Yeah, I think DVDs still get made, and the DVD release is still a thing. And I think that based on like the success of some of these movies that have come out on theaters, I think even movie companies have realized that, that we can release to streamers right away is awesome because we just get the immediate thing. But Super Mario movie is going to make $1 billion in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we're heading for more. We're heading for more theater-only releases. I think the age of the releasing on the theater and on the thing at the same time is gone.
It's dying. Yeah.
And I think a lot of these streamers, look, like everything is old is be new again. Like Netflix all of a sudden has like live programming.
Yeah.
Netflix is like, oh, we're going to do a live Chris Rock show. So it's everything that's old will be new again. These streamers are now getting into live content, which is so fucking weird to me as opposed to on demand. And most of them, except for like Netflix, have gone back to like a weekly release schedule. Ted Lasso every Wednesday night, Succession and Barry Sunday nights, stuff like that. So, I think it's almost, like I said, it's going to happen. Another prediction of mine is that within the next 2 or 3 years, there will be a major streaming, what's that called?
Merger.
Yeah. And there'll be another one, and we'll be back to the same fucking thing we had before.
Yeah, it'll be cable again. Disney will own it.
It'll be streaming cable, and it'll be just Disney, and then from Disney you'll be able to go to Netflix, to this, to this, to this, to this, and it'll all just be one thing. And you're going to be paying $200 a month again, like you were with cable, and
which is why I need DVDs, because that's when I will tap out.
Yeah, no. How much? Okay, let's say the cable and internet went out, but you still had electricity. How long would you be able to survive with just physical media?
It would depend on my finances fully. Because when I was in college, I didn't have a TV, and I survived just reading books, and I was totally smarter and better for it. Like I just didn't watch TV. I didn't watch anything. If I needed to watch a movie that I just really had to see, I had a laptop, but like I wasn't at home much, and I didn't have a TV, and I had homework, so like I just didn't. And then I got back to living here in my house, and I got a TV for free, and I'm so stupid in the head. I got a Roku. I went back to my old ways, and I'm just like, whoa, I started binging again. And I was like, how much time am I spending on this? So I think for me, it would come easy.
Because you could go to books and DVDs and stuff. Right?
Yeah, the worst part was when I felt left out. So whenever there was like, oh, Bird Box came out, or like something big, you know, and then I'd be like, okay, I'll watch that, and that's it, you know. But like I didn't feel the need to like, but it's because also you don't know what you're missing, right? So it's also like I didn't have access to it, therefore I was so happy. Like I didn't know it, you know. And then I got a Roku, and I was like, whoa, so many shows, and then I just watched a lot of shows. So I can survive. It's the FOMO that gets me. Yeah.
The FOMO.
It's
always
the FOMO.
that. It's always the FOMO. Yeah, I have.
What about you?
No, I have literally a giant ass cabinet in the living room, which is just packed full of movies. There's probably about 200 movies in there.
Oh, so you're good to go for a while.
Yeah. And I have not only that, but I also have about 60 video cassettes, and I have a VHS player, and I have probably about a hard drive of about 1 terabyte of nothing but movies that I've done.
Oh, you're so good to go. Yeah.
I'm good to go.
No, for me, I'm like, I have so many hobbies that are hands-on, and then I have so many books in my bookshelf that are unread that I think I would be good for a solid 3 years.
Yeah, and then I also have an Xbox and a PlayStation in terms of video games. So yeah, I could survive without internet for a while.
Yeah, I have a bunch of games that I don't play. I just don't have the time. But I'm like, hey, if I didn't have a TV.
Yeah, I guess the reason that I keep all that is because you never know. Like there's the desert island scenario. There's the grid goes offline scenario, like where he's like, yeah, you know, the zombies come and you got a fucking generator. At least you can like play movies for your community, you know?
Absolutely. Yep. Oh my gosh. Yeah. There's that.
All right, let's wrap it up there. We got one. Go ahead.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Bad Bunny and Coachella if we can.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's clip that.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, because I saw a lot of posts. Coachella happened weekend 1. Did you hear any of the tea?
Before that, let's do the thing and then jump right into it.
Okay.
Coachella and Bad Bunny. Shoot.
Yeah, it just happened. Well, weekend 1 just happened. Did you hear anything about that? Because there was a lot of tea, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I heard that Frank Ocean got paid like a bunch of money to do a drunken karaoke set. And then I heard that Bad Bunny was on stage and he was sort of denying the Kendall Jenner thing. Wow. But then all these videos of them hanging out together resurfaced, and she was vibing out at his show.
Yeah.
So I did hear that because everybody was live tweeting his set, you know, and then apparently he crushed it and everything, but
yeah, he did great. But so the Frank Ocean thing, I'll keep it pretty short. I guess he just had a diva moment where minutes before going on, he decided to change technical aspects to his show, and that delayed his show by a lot. And so you're wasting people's time, and he had no excuse. I think they try to spin it like he was injured, and so that's why he had to change things. But then other people are denying that. So it just seems like he was a diva. We will see what happens in week 2, but I can't foresee this happening again. We'll see what happens. But a lot of people are also saying that were there that it was not a good show. And yeah, Frank Ocean, a lot of Frank Ocean fans are dropping him. Yeah. And then in Bad Bunny news, and the reason why I wanted to talk about it was because I saw a lot. Well, you know, we follow a lot of Latinos in our Instagrams and social medias, and we do Mi Gente show, and we love Latinidad and supporting all Latinos. So I got a lot of like posts, kind of like, you know, pumping up Bad Bunny, a lot of positivity in my feed for the most part about, you know, excitement about seeing him. But man, did he do a doozy. First of all, performance wise, killed it. Amazing. As always, he's Bad Bunny. But yeah, him and Kendall were there. There were pictures. They're together. They're very clearly together. Good for him. We've covered that. What pissed me off this time and why I unfollowed. Listen, guys, it's severe. All right, so
you unfollowed the bunny?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wanted to wait to drop the bomb, but I've officially unfollowed Bad Bunny. I'm still a fan of his music.
Wow.
I am no longer a follower of his career. So here's the thing. I love my Latinos. I love what he's done for the culture. I think that he has progressed reggaeton music and machismo and has done so many good things for so many causes. And it's all amazing. And his flowers, he gets his flowers for that. And I love him for that. So I would never discount that. And I will always support him in that sense. I defended him with the phone throwing, even though that was annoying. But lately, his behavior has just been so bad. And the tip of the iceberg was the freaking speech that he did at Coachella, where he was kind of like saying, which I understand and I respect. He was kind of like talking shit to his fans, essentially, kind of saying like, you guys don't know me. Yeah, like a lecture. Like, you guys don't know me. Basically, like, just because you see me on social media doesn't mean you know anything about me. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Now, my thing is, bro, it wasn't just that. That was just the tip of the iceberg. Like, you're showing such little respect for the people that put you in this position. And
he owes you?
Huh?
You think he owes you?
No, I don't think he necessarily owes anyone anything. And I totally think that him dating Kendall is great, good for him. But I do think that certain behaviors. No, I think it's really, you know. Here's the thing. And this is where I'm coming from. I don't follow celebrities on social media. The only celebrity on my social media that I have is Susan Sarandon and Bernie Sanders and Bad Bunny before today. Reason being, I only follow celebrities and keep in touch with them if I really think that they're doing something good and I like their behavior. I'm not someone that's like a loyalist fan girl who's going to follow you to the ends of the earth. I like his music, but when Kanye started doing Nazi shit, I'm not going to back Kanye. When George Lopez started saying some shit about the community, I'm happy he's in Blue Beetle. I will always support him. I love my Latinos, but I don't necessarily like him as a person. All right. So I don't feel the need to follow him on Instagram.
I've done the same thing with people like we talked about the poker player they used to follow that did the fat phobia.
Exactly. They do something in their real behavior, real world, and you're like, I just like that. I don't need to follow you.
Or I need to take a break from you.
Exactly. So what happened with Bad Bunny, it was a series of events. The Kendall Jenner one was one. I already explained why that's problematic, because he claimed to be pro all of these like progressive movement stuff, and then he goes and literally dates the person that's the antithesis of what he stood for. So there's that. His ex is suing him for $40 million, rightfully so. We have yet to see the conclusion to that, but I think it was messed up that he used her voice against her will. And I believe that I believe that she deserves the money. So not cool, Bad Bunny.
Did he use a recording of her in one of his songs or something? Or?
The recording that he got from her. This is the beloved ex, by the way. So like, mind you, no one hates the people that he dates. Like, they're all fine. The thing with Kendall Jenner is the whole fact that like she is literally cultural appropriation in living form, So that's the problem when he has literally been on a pedestal about how that's wrong. So with this other ex, she was the one that helped him get his start. She's arguably a good reason why he made it. He is where he is. And so when she got a call apparently about use your voice for this. Hey, what's up, Polly? They asked for consent to use her voice for a song. She said no. They still used it. He made millions off of it. Now she's suing. Bro, come on. Another thing is he went on Vogue and did an interview where he basically he kind of like stepped back from. He denied colorism within the reggaeton, career genre or whatever. And then there's this line that says que todos quieren ser Latinos, pero no tienen sazón, which is basically like not everyone can be Latino, like kind of like, whatever, talking about appropriation in a sense. And he took a full step back and basically just said that he doesn't really believe in that. And I'm just kind of like, all your behavior that you're doing now is a sellout. The reason why I love Bad Bunny is because yo hago lo que me da la gana used to mean I'm going to be this awesome cultural fucking like, I'm going to stand for what I stand for and I'm going to dress like a girl if I fucking want to and yo perro sola and I fuck whatever. Fuck feminicidio. Like, he had political views. And now it seems like he's corporate Bad Bunny. He's yo hago lo que me da la gana now, as in fuck all of you people that brought me up, and I'm just gonna date white girls and fuck
white billionaires.
Eggs. Yeah, and I'm just gonna like I don't believe in anything, and I'm gonna teeter every line. And then you go on Coachella and talk to your fan and give him a lecture, like you're sold out. Like, he's sold out. All right.
Listen,
and so I love his music. I think that he's gonna come out with amazing music, and I think I'm gonna continue to listen to it. And I still think he's probably a good guy. I don't fucking know. But I don't need to follow him, and he doesn't care, and it's fine. We're all fine, guys. But that's, I can't defend him no more.
This is like your own personal Bad Bunny hellscape.
It's my Bad Bunny hellscape, and it's just disappointing. It's just like, because I'm not a fan of a lot of people, and I was a stan, and now I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna be a casual listener now.
This is serio, Sofia. This is Sofia, and
this is you piss mama off. Yeah.
All right,
I just don't like his behavior.
I got a couple of things. So
continue.
Definitely, the things. Even though I could not name 3 Bad Bunny songs, if you put a gun to my head, I would like. Probably one. Like, Lou, we're going to like literally
like 30, 50.
All right, let me see if I can name one song. Me llamo Baboni. Is that
not even a song? not even a song. No.
Is it I have no idea. I could not name one Bad Bunny song to save my life. Like, I understand people like it, whatever. What I love about him is he was unapologetically Latino, unapologetically Puerto Rican. And the thing that made him was that he became an icon without having to change anything cultural. Right? He was unapologetically who he was, whether it was gender bending, whether it was the politics that he had, supporting Puerto Rico, stuff like that. And despite not making any changes or the things that you would think that I have to change this about myself to be more culturally acceptable to the mainstream, he blew up because of all the love that people like you and Latinos had for him, and that carried over into the mainstream and to everybody, etc. But this happens a lot to celebrities. So if I'm going to put my conspiracy theory hat on, this means that he has officially kind of sort of joined the Illuminati or something.
Okay.
Maybe
hey man, not gonna knock it. Probably.
Maybe because once you hit that certain level of fame, you get into this hemisphere of where you're not just an influencer, you're a style maker. You're an influencer of the world. So there's this circle of elites that's out there. Whether you want to call it something like that, it does exist in terms of just like the zeitgeist. So that would be my conspiracy theory. I did love the fact that even when people try to talk shit about him, like I think Devin Booker was trying to talk shit back about the song that he wrote. He said like, "Oh, there goes Bad Bunny, worried about another guy again," like trying to throw shade into like this thing, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do think it's interesting that he is reaching this very high level of his career.
Yeah.
And this is something similar to what people that used to be fans of like Howard Stern are going through. Because when Howard came up in the 90s and early 2000s, it was all about anti-establishment. It was about basically talking shit about all celebrities, about all establishments, award show, being the counterculture thing. And as soon as he reached that level of fame where he was like a judge on America's Got Talent, you know what I mean? Then he became, he was like, "Oh, I'm in here.
Corporate,
I'm in here now. Oh, wait, I'm going to close this door. No more callers no more calls from the audience.
Yeah.
We're going to only A-list celebrities, all the comedians and people that used to come on here and be controversial. No more of that." And now the people that used to listen to him back in the day are like, well, it's just a corporate version. It was what he hated.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
It's like Bill Maher. I used to love him, and he's a sellout. He's like a right wing. Yeah, it's insane. It happens.
It happens. Howard Stern, Bill Maher. There's a lot of them. Hopefully, it doesn't happen to Bill Burr, because he's a legend right now. But if they can get to Bill Bunny, he's actually Sofia. He actually changed his name to Bill Bunny because now he's corporate and white. So now he's Bill Bunny.
That makes sense.
Bill Bunny.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I think that there is something to getting to that upper echelon that you never thought you were going to get to.
Yeah.
And the pressures that come with like, well, you know what? We're not talking about millions or $50,000 here or there. We're talking about you being a billionaire, you being an icon, you being able to have like country changing money. You know what I mean? Like he could really use his influence for good. And instead he's driving around a golf course with some white girl that owns a tequila company.
Yeah, exactly. And he had been, and he probably, likely his publicist, I'm sure, is having a heyday and is like, okay, you need to return to that. I'm sure he will. And I never want to seem like I'm just here criticizing a Latino, because you know what? I think that it's admirable that he's gotten this high. I feel like it's unprecedented and it's awesome. And I will continue, like I said, to listen to his music as long as it's good and continue to support him. And he, like, yay, clap for him. He's amazing. But I also think that, like you said, it's the vibes. I followed him for vibes. I liked his person.
Vibes are off. The vibes are off.
Vibes are off. The vibes are done, and the party's over. And now he's he's very corporate bunny. So, that's just my opinion. Yeah.
Bill Bunny.
He doesn't care. Nobody cares. But you know what? Bernie's still Bernie.
Bernie's ain't changing forever.
He ain't changing. The minute he changes,
Bernie
oh my god,
changing.
I'm gonna cry on that one. But yeah, no, I also lied. It's Susan Sarandon, Bernie Sanders, and Sarah Paulson. I still follow Sarah Paulson.
Why are you listening to? Why Susan Sarandon? Wasn't she like anti-Bernie? Wasn't she like a Nader?
No, she's pro Bernie. She's her politics. She's just one of those actresses that like politically, and like her son is really cool too. Like they just post a lot and do a lot of activism that I really enjoy. And so yeah, I mean, they're cool vibes.
There was a meme about her. There was a meme about her recently where she was talking to like this Mexican lady activist, and she was basically like explaining to her like why she should vote the way she would vote, and the lady was like,
I thought that was Jamie Lee Curtis, no?
Was it Jamie Lee Curtis? I thought it was Susan Sarandon. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Sarandon, yeah, she went after Huerta about yeah, I did definitely see that. She was sort of basically like Latin splaining, maybe.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I thought I heard something like that. Let me.
Yeah. Well,
is she canceled too? Should I unfollow her as well?
That's why it kind of was like strange, because I was like, Susan Sarandon, yeah, great cans. But
this was like a couple years ago. Politically, I vibed with her, but if she's Latin splaining, I gotta catch up because Bad Bunny's canceled. Maybe Susan Sarandon's canceled. Let's see.
She could have.
This turned into the Susan Sarandon. Let's see. Okay.
All right. Well.
Okay. But anyway, that's Bad Bunny watch, and yeah,
Bad Bunny. We need a. I gotta make a thing. We gotta do like
the Bad Bunny watch. Yeah, because we reported on the phone stuff, and I defended him, and now I'm like, man, dude, like pay your ex-girlfriend, and just go back to being who you.
We gotta go edit that. Bad Bunny.
No good Bunny. But he is dropping new music, so like I said,
and didn't he just drop like a collaboration with like a norteño band or something?
Yeah. So I'm not knocking that part. Like, how Kanye now is like, you can feel a little guilty listening to his music. Bad Bunny's not there yet. I do.
I still have late registration and other of his things on my playlist. It's my own personal playlist. Like, what the fuck are you gonna care? I'm not gonna necessarily play it at a party or at a get together, But I'm also
that's true.
I'm also not gonna play like one of my favorite songs to put at a party used to be R. Kelly remixed to Ignition, and I can't play that one anymore. I must see if I can get away.
But that's so good.
It's such a good song. I was gonna see if I could play it one night at karaoke, see how people would react. Just play it and just be like, just see if everybody starts vibing to it and be like, wait a minute.
Still a vibe. Not gonna lie. Still a vibe. It's still
this is the remix edition.
Care so much. Chris Brown.
It's such a good song.
Yeah.
It's such a good song.
Yeah.
He's such a piece of shit. It's just weird.
But you know what?
I know. Yeah, it's
that's weird. What I mean. I'm like, Bad Bunny's not in the list. It's not even close to those people. All right.
So you're saying you're close to having to make the decision to separate the music, the art from the artist, right?
No. I'm not close. What I'm saying is the opposite. I'm not close. I have separated my personal time from his socials, which is fine. See you mañana, Polly. Hell yeah, I'm gonna be on Latino Slant, so you guys tune in. We're gonna be doing Macho Minute, talking some good topics.
I'm excited to watch. Cool. I'll tune in.
Yeah, tune in.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
But no, he's not even close. No, I'm just saying his behavior, I don't vibe with it. I'm not following, I'm not subscribing. I'll listen to the music if it's good.
Will you buy the music?
I still have a Spotify. I never bought it. I have Spotify. I listen to it. That gives him money, right?
He's getting some.
I don't buy
somewhere.
CDs.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm not a huge like super fan of a lot of people, so but I do love his music.
This has been Bad Bunny Watch.
Yeah, Bad Bunny Watch. So I'm looking at Susan Sarandon stuff.
Okay.
Providing Spanish. Okay, it was from 2016. I believe I started liking Susan Sarandon in like 2020. So
maybe
I gotta start looking. Because she did support Bernie Sanders. Yeah, she did support Bernie Sanders the second time around.
Yeah, I think this.
So I'll report back.
Yeah, this is the Dolores Huerta thing was a couple of years before that, I think. So maybe back then.
Yeah, it was in 2016 during his run. So I will do research and report back on Susan Sarandon watch. Is Sofia still following her?
Got it.
But you know who I would be so sad to unfollow would be Sarah Paulson. I love her. I just love her vibes.
Who is that?
You don't what? Oh my god. So the people that I love I either love them for their politics and activism.
Okay.
Their sense of humor.
I probably know who that is. I might just missed on.
Or their music and sense of humor, personality, whatever, right? So Bad Bunny fell into that. Sarah Paulson is a personality for sure. She's an actress, amazing actress. I fell in love with her in the first American Horror Story. She's queer. She's here and bitch. Ugh, I love her. She's amazing. And she is now dating Holland Taylor. They've been dating for so many years and they're just like a lesbian couple. And I'm just here for everything Sarah Paulson. I just love her. I'm just a fan. She has not done anything for me to cancel her.
Okay. All right. I looked her up and I immediately know who you're talking about.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm like, you know her. You know Sarah Paulson.
I know. But I didn't really know her politics or anything. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, she's a great person. Cool person that, as far as we know on social media.
All right. So that was Bad Bunny watch and who got canceled this week. Before we go, let's do No Names Way.
Yes.
Now it's time for
No Names Way.
No Names Way.
No Names.
All right, we got 2 questions this week.
All right. What do we got? Let
me just refresh to make sure we didn't get any other late submissions. All right, here we go. Question number 1 comes to us from Concerned Girlfriend.
Ooh.
Concerned Girlfriend writes, my boyfriend, who has been clean for 2 years and was previously doing hard drugs for like 14 years, was smoking weed with his brother who came out for a visit last month. He didn't tell me, and I had to find out watching his brother's stories. I fear this will lead him on a path back to drug use, but I also don't want to overreact. Any thoughts on how to approach him? I have been with him for 5 years, so I was with him when he quit drugs and went to rehab and have been there for him, FYI.
You go first on this one. This is hard.
Well, I mean, there's such a thing as California sober, assuming you're in California, right?
What does that mean?
California sober means like you smoke weed. Like
that's true.
Because I mean, honestly, I don't think you're talking about somebody who smokes regularly. So if anything, I'm a smoker. I'm a stoner. I'm an advocate for weed. One thing I do know about weed is that it gets you high. Just kidding. I know one thing I do know about weed is that one of the things that I think that helped me as a stoner is that I didn't start smoking when I was 14, 15 years old. I didn't start smoking. I was really good. Like I didn't touch weed until I was into my 20s, like after I was 18 and stuff like that.
Whoa.
I smoked like maybe once or twice, like peer pressure when I was a kid growing up in New York, but I was paranoid of it because my parents were big drinkers and drug users. So I sort of was trying to stay away from that. But when I moved out to California, I was like, whoa, exactly. But I think that helped me in as much as it helped me develop my brain and not be such a like, you know what I mean? As opposed to a lot. Sometimes I do think that kids that start smoking super early, sometimes it affects them, because it's motivation wise and stuff like that. I think one of the things that I've heard about weed is that it just can sort of stunt your growth a little bit. So I'm happy that I started smoking later in life. So like I said, so that's the only thing I'd say about weed. Like what I would tell I would be hypocritical not to let my kids smoke weed and stuff. But what I would try to advise them is that if you're going to use it as a habit, start later in life so that it gives you time to fully develop, et cetera, et cetera. So coming from that perspective, find out if he maybe he's been smoking weed.
That's true.
Maybe he quit hard drugs and was just like, you know what? I'm just going to use some weed, maybe some gummies for my anxiety, something here or there. Because I think the whole thing about a gateway and the slippery slope is true. Like sometimes people, they'll smoke some weed and then they'll go back to doing coke and then they'll go to the heavier stuff and then they'll do this. So that's definitely a concern. You know him better because if he was using hard drugs for a long time, he probably wasn't a weed guy because most people that are hardcore like that don't really smoke a lot of weed. They just stick to their stuff. So maybe weed isn't a trigger. So find out if it's been the only time. If he's been doing it and it's been helping his sobriety, then there's a chance that it's not that big of a deal, especially if you're like a California hober and they can sort of do that. If you're concerned or if you know that usually leads into something else, then just be like, hey, listen, I saw this. Do you want to talk about it? And then just sort of see how he reacts. And then the main thing is that they're still working whatever program they used to get off of the drugs in the first place. So have they been lagging and not going to as many meetings? Have they been showing any other signs? Just kind of evaluate the whole situation. Don't just take it because like I said, it could be a thing where maybe it helps and he was in a celebration and it didn't go any further. And if it was a month ago and you just barely saw it and you haven't noticed any differences, then it could have been one of two things. He could have just sort of been smoking once in a while to help himself out and just didn't want to bother you with it, which again, not the greatest thing, right? Because that means he's been lying to you or keeping something from you. But number two, maybe he's California sober. So that's where I would go.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think the for sure thing is that it has to be a conversation. If he was getting off of hard drugs and he's doing a program and you found weed, yeah, same thing. I feel like, not to belittle just like that weed isn't like a real drug or something like that. It is, and it is a slippery slope and stuff like that. I get it. But like if he went from hard drugs to weed, to me, it's like a demotion. So make sure that, like Lou said, just talk to him, say I found this, and make sure that he's still at least on the right path. And work with him. I mean, yeah, I feel like I'd be a lot more worried if it was like a hard drug that I found or something like that. But not to say that, he's out of the woods and he, you should not be worried. Definitely check in and see how he reacts.
Yeah, do that. Yeah. Keep us updated.
Yes,
let us know
please
how
do.
it went.
Yes.
See if he got canceled.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. This next question comes to us from Hookup Vandal. What's up, Hookup Vandal? Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I might have hooked up with a distant cousin. Okay.
Oh my god.
All right.
What's up with the cousin talk today?
There was a big family reunion last month, and after the dinner, a bunch of us cousins went out to a bar. One of my girl cousins saw some other girls there that I thought she just knew, and she invited them to, and then they came and sat with us after she invited them to our table. All right, sorry, this was a little confusing.
Okay.
One of the girls and I hit it off, and many shots of tequila later, we were outside smoking a cigarette and started making out heavily. All right.
Oh no, this was in front of everyone. Oh no.
Yeah. Cut to the next morning at the park for a big family picnic event, and I see her there wearing a shirt with my family's name on it. One of those things. We sort of looked at each other and kept apart for the rest of the day. It was a fun makeout session. What do I do?
Holy
run
shit.
away.
Well,
run away.
Yeah, run away, change your name. I don't know. Well, first of all, the people that you were with, if they were your cousins, they should have told you. Right? Because you said all the cousins went out and then they invited other people. And why didn't they tell you? No one told you.
Well, I mean, if you go out with your cousins and it's their town and they're like, hey, come over and sit with us, and you might think, oh, these are just friends that my cousins know.
I can see how that's an assumption, but you would think when they're making out, a cousin would be like, hey, bud, so by the way, we should have introduced you probably, but that's like family.
This is like your third cousin from from across the country.
Yeah, because for me, the most embarrassing part, because I think we've gotten a submission sort of like this, but but it wasn't until it was separate. It wasn't. They didn't go out on a night out with the cousins. So I think for me, the most embarrassing part is the fact that there's a group of family members that know that y'all made out.
Well, yeah,
they
didn't say whether they saw them. They said they were outside smoking a cigarette, so they could have gone off by themselves.
They could have not seen. Okay.
They could have, because I feel like if I was there and I saw my cousin starting to make out, I'd be like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, I'd be like, guys.
Or even if I started seeing them flirting with each other, like if I saw them like pairing off or something,
exactly.
I'd be like, hey, by the way, you guys are related, FYI.
Yeah. Just letting you know.
Just so we're on the same page on this. You guys can go do what you want, but I just want you to know.
Especially in Latino families, there's so many people on big reunions that like I feel like people are good about this usually. Like that's your cousin. Like that's your, you know. So that's but okay. Devil's advocate. No one saw you flirting. No one saw you making out.
Nobody saw you making out, and then you see each other the next day. Just keep it to
Never
yourself.
happened. Keep it to yourself. Take it to your grave. Never happened. Never make out again. Don't even talk to them.
Be thankful that you didn't go any further.
Yeah, because this could have been way worse. I was waiting for it. I was like, I'm glad it was just making out.
It was just a makeout session.
Woo, bendito. That's fine.
You dodged the bullet there.
Dodged the bullet.
Yeah, so I would say just take it to your grave. Like you saw her at the carne asada the next day. They didn't even say if they were Latino anyway, but I'm just saying
we're assuming. I don't know.
Yeah, we're assuming, but they're like, they saw them at the family barbecue the next day. It was like, hey, we had dinner, and the next day you're coming out for an event, the cookout, whatever, and you're like, oh, hey, you were from the bar last night.
Same shirts.
You too?
Wow.
Oh, wow. Hernandez family reunion 2023. Me too. Oh, great, man.
Oh man, this is a movie.
Here's your gum back.
That's disgusting. This is to be in a movie. Yeah, just take it to the grave. No harm, no foul. Yeah, no babies were made. We're good.
Yeah, you're good. You're right. Right. Thank you for both of these creepy submissions this week, people.
Great way to end it.
Look, it was a full show. We had a really good conversation with Alex. It was a really fun talk about film. He even asked us some questions. It was a great convo. Yep. We had a family reunion of sorts.
And ending it on a family reunion. See, this is
ending on a family reunion. We had Hellscape watch. We talked about a lot of cool stories. Good show today, Sofia.
Fucking good show. You guys, this is a pretty good podcast. I don't know if you knew.
No, absolutely. And if you have hung out with us thus far, make sure if you're listening somewhere on the audio only version, you leave a rating. Make sure you're following across all platforms at Mi Gente Show everywhere, literally Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Give us anywhere, like, give us a comment. It all helps.
Anywhere that the media is social.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Which is everywhere.
Except for Truth. We're not on Truth.
Oh yeah, Truth Social. We should.
Just have it go to Truth Social.
Yeah, just trigger a bunch of snowflakes.
We'll be back on Thursday. Probably be our last show for a couple of weeks. We
have the bye bye. Oh
yeah.
On Monday.
Yeah. We have two more. Yeah, two more shows before we go on hiatus Thursday, and then Monday we'll have a bye show for Sofia and a birthday show for myself.
Yeah.
But until then, this is Lou Martinez, Big Chief Burrito, and Sofia Carr _ anywhere. You can also find us anywhere. Thank you for hanging out with us. We love you. Bye, mi gente.
Hasta luego.
Vamos, papá, hay que irnos. Me estoy aguantando desde que pusieron el domo.
¿Puedes esperar? Muchas personas trabajaron en esta película y solo quieren que te aprendas sus nombres de memoria.
Y yo quiero asegurarme de que ningún animal resultó lesionado durante la filmación de esta película. ¡Listo! ¡Uy, palomitas en el suelo! ¡Chao! Espera, parece que Maggie tiene algo que decir. Dile su primera palabra. ¿Qué escuela?
¡4 años de escuela de cinematografía para esto!